What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special Flyers Talk A2D. A lot to talk about, a lot of exciting things going on. We're at game 82 of the regular season, and we got meaningful hockey. So you know what that means? Live reactions to a very important game tonight. Flyers have to win. Washington wins. They're in. A lot on the line here tonight. We're also going to be talking about, depending on how this game goes, what may have gone wrong for the Flyers. What may have gone right for the Flyers all season long, the consistencies. We're going to talk all that. And we're going to wrap up the show with a little bit of a fun topic. I know a lot of guys are gonna give me a little crap for this because some of you do know that I am a Ducks fan. Cutter Gauthier signing his ELC. We're going to discuss that, how the fans feel about that, what they wish upon him, all kinds of stuff like that. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going to hit that share as well. All right? Hit that share. Get us out there. It's time to go talk some puck, guys. Let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Flyers Talk A2D here on A2DRadio.com. I am Matt Satsuti, along with the Darkwing, Brian Daly.
It's nice to have meaningful hockey back. Let's go.
Yeah. The Broken One, Rob Povia.
It's a nail-biting night. Let's get started.
And we have Mr. Blue Shirt, Mr. Broadway, not necessarily Mr. Switzerland today, if you know our private chat and what's been said on there, but he is Big Bad Brad Ryer.
Don't forget President's Trophy winner.
That's right. The Rangers are officially the President's Trophy winner. They have the kiss of death going into this year's playoff. So
you
good
do
luck
know
with that,
8
Brad.
out of 37 President's Trophy winners have won the Stanley Cup.
That's not a good precedent for you guys.
Not a good percentage.
But it's the high, but it is the highest slot out of any other slot. Believe it or not, the number 4 slot has had 6 Stanley Cup winners. That's the closest.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that weird though? For whatever reason, 4 is almost as high as 6.
That is weird. But that goes to show just how crazy the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are, which are right around the corner. And tonight, the 82-game campaign comes to a close for the Flyers. And what a way for it to come to a close tonight. Whew. Hey, do you guys remember 2010? Because I almost feel like it's somewhat similar to this.
I have amnesia from that particular afternoon.
I just wish
a certain
shootout tonight.
I don't remember that shootout.
It never happened. It doesn't exist.
No, I have hysterical memory loss from that day.
Again, I just wish that, if the result of the Flyers game tonight was the end result, we didn't have to worry about the Red Wings. We didn't have to worry about the Canadians. We don't have to worry about, the Red Wings, obviously the Capitals tonight. And now if the Flyers win tonight and the Red Wings lose tonight, you got to wait for the Penguins tomorrow. So the extra stress there, extra unnecessary stress is going to be nail biting over the next 2 days.
Don't think the Islanders will not show up tomorrow night, guys.
With them got it clinched, I don't know.
They hate Pittsburgh.
Oh, good. Yeah, as they
hate Pittsburgh. Don't you remember all the fights they've had the last few years?
Right. Good point. Yeah.
They hate them. They would like nothing more than to end Crosby's season. Trust me.
Well, if you do have a possible injury that could be not career-ending or season-ending, but you do have a little bit of some issues going on, say your shoulder, your leg, or your back a little bit, then you might want to call or actually make an appointment with the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, over at Specialized Physical Therapy, and the website down at the bottom, www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Make an appointment, head to either Cherry Hill or Burlington, New Jersey, and let his team of highly trained professionals take care of you, because you know what? You don't want to be dealing with aches and pains while you work or while you try to relax when you're not at work. So yeah, absolutely. Go hit the doc up and get that straight away real quickly, so that way you're not feeling the after effects. And
Yeah,
the
we don't
poll
wanna do that.
tonight: the Flyers season will be a failure if they miss the playoffs. Agree or disagree? And this has been the big debate going on pretty much all day. Actually, it's been a debate for the better part of a month because the Flyers have fallen apart so spectacularly here, going towards the end of the season here, that now everybody has had this question on their mind: can this season be considered a success, or is it a failure? Because of the fact that the Flyers are very, very possible to miss the playoffs with a slim chance of getting in. So the question is, gentlemen, agree or disagree? Do you consider this season a failure if the Flyers, in the worst case, don't make it to the playoffs and are just out after having had a playoff position through most of the season?
I'll jump in real quick. I'll make it quick. I think it's an absolute success based off of what they were last year, and I know there's been this little hiccup here towards the end of the season, and it helps kind of make things sting a little bit. I think that's probably the best way to put it. But you look at the broad scheme of things, or you look at the entirety of the season, it's been an absolute success. There's 8 games. They've won 8 more games than they did last year. They're not in the draft lottery at the moment. They're not finishing in the bottom 10 of the league. Power plays left a lot to be desired. I'll give you that. That's probably been the worst aspect of the game. But despite everything even going on off the ice, injuries, Carter Hart, Cutter Gauthier, all those other off the ice distractions that have been going on, this team hasn't really faltered at all until about 2 weeks ago. So for me, I'm not going to let that little hiccup there for the last 2 weeks and go winless, despite the fact that if they had won a couple of those games, they would probably have sealed up a playoff spot. Tell me that this season is not a success, because it is. Like I said, biggest part of this is they have 12 more points than they had last year. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's the difference between being a bottom 10 team and a wild card contending team.
Prism is saying the fact that y'all sold your top pairing right-handed D-man and got a first and are still playing meaningful games this late in the year is still a massive win for the kids. Not a loss by any stretch of the imagination.
And we are underway, by the way. Oshie hit the post already.
Start off with a bang.
Yep. Don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. They played 3 games in the last 4 nights, but this Caps team's going to go, because if they win tonight, they're in.
Oh yeah, the Caps have a lot to play for tonight, just like the Flyers do. Now, the one thing though is I do believe the Caps do own tiebreakers, so they do have that to fall back on.
Over the Flyers?
I think over the Red Wings.
I think it's over the Red Wings. Yes, they don't have it over the Flyers. They have to go like 4 deep to get the Flyers to have all the tiebreakers. So they're tied in the first 3 they look at, and then the head-to-head points. If the Flyers beat them tonight and they do wind up tied, the Flyers do have the upper hand on that, so they would win the tiebreaker.
Gotcha.
With a win in regulation.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's the key, is a win in regulation. That's what the Flyers have to get. They have to get 2 points, and the Capitals, they must deny them any. They cannot get a single point. So, Robbie, I turn it to you. Do you agree or disagree?
It's been a lot of chatter today, and there's been a lot of chatter in this new group that I joined, Flyers Talk, on Facebook. Been great discussion earlier today, and we got one comment in there that almost made me change my stance. Salvatore goes, in my opinion, it's been a failure all year. It's supposed to be rebuilding and are contending. Didn't sell this year like we should have, so we could see the young guys in Lehigh Valley play. Picking mid-first instead of having a top pick just pushes more pressure on Danny B to make moves and try to keep the rebuild on track. And I told him it's an interesting perspective, because the Blackhawks did it a different way, where they did sell off all their pieces, and the only time will tell who does it right. But this team has a lot of draft picks to where Danny can always trade up to get up into that top 10, Brian. So I wanted to make mention to that, because you brought up that point being maybe one of the negatives here. But in terms of what my stance is on this poll, guys, I disagree with a big bulk of the people that are chiming in on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check us out all over the place. I couldn't be more proud, or I could be prouder of this team. I think they're doing it the right way. And to be playing a meaningful game in 82, as you guys alluded to, after last season, it's a success in my book, no matter the context.
Dude, I tell you what, man, Salvatore really it's a great perspective because you know what? He's looking at it in not necessarily a negative way. He's looking at it in just a completely different. He's out of the box thinking on that, and I like it. I like what he said. Do I agree with him? Actually, kind of, but not enough to persuade my stance on this. I think this has absolutely been a successful season, and I think absolutely 1,000% they're doing it right. So.
Yep, and we got Priss chiming back in here. Flyers need a regulation win, can't win an OT. He also said blame the Canadians for blowing that 4-1 lead that they had on the Red Wings. The Red Wings did go on to win in overtime in that game to keep themselves alive in the race. Priss also saying after the Provy trade, I wouldn't be surprised at anything that Danny could pull off. And now we turn it to you, Mr. Big Bad Brad Ryer, the fan of the current President's Trophy winners, the winners of the regular season, the New York Rangers, the Kiss of Death team in the playoffs. We know your stance, but I feel like you should reiterate it to the fan.
Is not as popular as yours. Okay. Now, I just want to also mention the fact that I grew up rooting for the Yankees in the George Steinbrenner era. So you'll have to excuse my opinions because I'm very jaded because of George Steinbrenner. So if you want to blame anybody for what I'm about to say, blame him. Okay. Here's my improvement. Yes. Okay. On the right track. Absolutely. Okay. However, I'm not going to sit here and say it's a successful season when you lost to the freaking Chicago Blackhawks 5-1. You lost at home to the Ottawa Senators. You lost to the lousy Blue Jackets. You got beat by the stinky Sabres. Okay, all during that 8-game losing streak. I mean, come on. Just one overtime loss to one of those teams. Okay, and you wouldn't be in the situation you are now. You know, I mean, how do you lose to those teams and then turn around and kick the shit out of us last Wednesday? When was it, Tuesday or Wednesday night?
Wednesday, I think.
Wednesday, yeah. How do you do that? And then you shut out a high-scoring team like the Devils, who may stink, but damn, they can still score goals even without Jack Hughes. How do you do that?
It was finally the one straw that broke the camel's back. Eventually, the Flyers were going to get another win. It was at some point they were going to get one loss too many, and they were finally going to wake up. And they woke up. Some would say they woke up too late, but at the same time, at some point, someone had to wake up, and that's what did it. Oh, what a great chance!
I think every team gets rough chances in this league,
there were two games I thought that they quit. Okay, and you can say what you want about it. I would disagree to the end of the word. They gave up. They quit in the Canadian game in the second period.
Mm-hmm.
And they quit in the Blue Jacket game, and they quit in the Blackhawk game. I mean, geez, I just can't. I mean, if I'm a Flyer fan, if they don't make the playoffs, the game I'm really going to bang my head about is the Blackhawk game. How the hell do you lose 5-1 to the Blackhawks?
Definitely should not have lost that.
I mean,
so bad.
Granted, Brad, I might have had my Homer hat on, right? But when I hear John Tortorella saying that this team didn't quit, he's going to tell you if he quit or not. He's the type of guy that will come out and call it like it is. He's not saying that. He's saying the opposite.
The eye test would tell me if they didn't quit. Okay, there's a couple of things that I have that I'm very concerned about with them. Okay, why I'm not going to call it a successful season. Number one, I don't know if you found your a championship goalie yet. Okay, you haven't found that yet because I'm not convinced about Sam Ersson. Okay, your top two defensemen right now, I don't see them as a top pairing defenseman. I see Sealer is a top pairing defenseman, but he's the only one on the team that I find to be a top pairing defenseman right now.
Well, I will say this off of that. I wouldn't be too hard on Sam Ersson. That guy got shoved a really bad situation real quick, and that's a lot to ask on anybody, even a vet.
Yep.
You know,
Yep,
it's
I
like it's a
understand,
lot
but
to ask
why-
on
50
them.
game starts. 50.
But why?
Mm.
5-0.
Why didn't the Flyer management go out and get
agree,
him a little help?
You can knock him for it. You can knock him for
Yeah,
that.
you can because you know what? A fifth or a sixth round pick for maybe Jake Allen, just to give him some help and get a half decent backup goalie. I mean, is that
Because
asking too
no,
much?
they didn't do that because they were expecting Fedotov and Kolosov to come over once their seasons were over. And if you go out and you get a guy like Jake Allen, that nixes that completely. Plus, Ersson was playing well enough; they thought maybe he could handle the workload, which clearly he can't, and that's okay because he's 23 years old. No one's expecting him to play 70 games a year and expect him to be at the top of his game every
that's
single
my
time.
But
But
that's the point, though.
it's a rebuild.
You
You're not
rebounded
gonna go
with
out
the
and
goose
spend
egg, though.
But here's the thing: they're seeing this as a rebuild. You go out and you get a goalie like Jake Allen, that kind of nicks that in the butt too, because you're spending draft assets that you need for the rebuild on a rental goaltender. You don't do that until you're ready to
A fifth or a
truly
sixth
compete.
round pick is not that important.
All draft picks in a rebuild
I-
are important.
You know what though? You know what you get for a sixth round draft pick? Matt Rempe.
Now, maybe
He's shown his importance.
maybe what they could do now that they've seen what has happened here and they've seen Fedotov and everything, you could in the offseason, as a cautionary move, just to be on the safe side, maybe you go get a goalie, not necessarily pay him a ton of money and put a lot of links on the contract, just to be on the safe side. He
Just
won't
$1
be playing
million
much.
Goalie. Just a
What?
$1 million, maybe an $850,000 goalie.
But but as a cautionary move, just in case, if like say Fedotov next year, if he's having still some issues with his low game, and his angles, and maybe then you could say, all right, let's throw the vet in there, let Ersson still be there, let him still be up there, and let's take a look at Fedotov here in Lehigh Valley. And see what's up with that. Plus, also, then you have Yarnson and everything that you're going to be looking at. So, again, as a precautionary move, I would say in the offseason, maybe you do that. Just as a precautionary
I'm going to give you a guy that might be available that you can get really cheap that might come in here and really help them. Okay? And you're going to laugh and you're going to be ready to throw things at me for mentioning this name, but Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh.
That would be very weird to see Fleury in a Flyers jersey.
Well,
That'd
we got
be
Jonathan
very
Quick,
strange.
and look how that turned out.
Right.
Didn't Fleury announce that this was going to be his final season?
No, he says he wants to play one more year.
Boy, what a weird way to end his career. Play for the
don't-
team that has basically had a curse on him it's been a jinx for him for a good long while.
We signed a
don't
guy
hate it.
that beat us in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I don't think we
hate it.
need to clog the pipeline though, man. I'm curious to see what we'll get from Fedotov and Kolosov next
But
year. You know what I mean, along with Ersson,
Same.
and have them all compete.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Because that's what drove this season, right? The hot camp, the
Right.
competition leading in.
Right. And I'm not saying we don't do things like that. But what I'm saying is just in case the Flyers are competitive next year, just in case. We don't know if they will be, but maybe they will be.
Yeah.
Say Fedotov is not really doing real well, and he's really, really struggling. And you take him down, you put him in Lehigh Valley, and really take a good look at him down there. Maybe you throw the vet up and have him and Ersson, and keep Ersson still with the more starts. But you can at least go to a reliable backup at the end of the day if the Flyers are competitive. I would say this just as a precautionary, not necessarily for any other reason other than that.
Ooh. It's a good hit. No, listen, I'm about that life because maybe Maybe Fedotov does need to go down there for a little bit and kind of season up a little bit. Training camp next year is going to tell a lot about where they are as far as developing goes. It's too small of a sample size to say whether or not Fedotov can play in the NHL or not.
Correct.
Too small of a sample size. Kolosov, we're going to see what he does. I can pull up his stats here in a few minutes and kind of see what he's doing in Lehigh, but these guys coming from the KHL. And yes, as much as it is the same, it's a different style of game. So these guys do need to adjust. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, for what you were saying, Maddie, he does have to work on some of his fundamentals a little bit. He does have, I feel like his side to side's not great. His angles definitely are not. And we've seen that, and it's cost the Flyers a couple goals here. But also in that same breath, during that little 8-game skid, you had two of your better defensemen out, shaking up the pairings a little bit, so you got to regain some of that chemistry. And top it off, the offense just went flat cold. That was a big thing for me, at least, was the offense going cold, not being able to find any finish. And when you do, you're still getting outscored. So the defense definitely needed to be better, and they're definitely playing better now that they're 100% healthy and they got some chemistry going there.
So
Urson's playing with way more confidence. The offense is playing with some more confidence as well. So when they get when they're on point when they're getting the power kill going, and are they calling a goal there?
I don't know. They had a meeting of the minds over at the goal cage. Torts is pointing at something up on the board.
Let's see.
The refs are talking it over. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the replay yet.
If y'all seen it in the chat, drop it in. Bring the comments. Let's go.
If you guys, because we can't hear it with sound, if there was a whistle, that might be the one thing that's why they're calling it off. If there was a whistle, let us know. So let's see here. There was the shot. Puck flew in the air, and then it wound up just landing off of maybe Wilson and going. Yeah, it just kind of went off of Wilson's skate into the net.
Did he kick it in?
No. Well, it's Wilson, so it wouldn't have mattered. Oh, it bounced off the shoulder of who's that? And then it kind of
goal.
went off
I'm
Wilson
sorry.
and in. That's a weird goal to go in, but the question is, did the whistle blow?
Well, if it bounced off the shoulder, that may not count. The Rangers lost a goal because of that.
It went off of the defending team's shoulder.
So it wasn't off of a Flyer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that wouldn't be the worry.
Well, you all were keeping us in suspense.
All right.
Sorry.
Brad, we don't have access right now, so we're relying on our gentleman upstairs here.
Yeah, went up in the air, bounced off looks like a Capitals defender into the net, but I don't know why they would whistle that dead. It just went straight up in the air. It wasn't covered. I mean, but that's okay. But to me, that's a goal.
That should be a goal because it just was it was an odd bounce that went into the back of the net. I think from that angle, it looked like it might have hit Farabee, but it doesn't matter if it hit Farabee because it hits Wilson before it goes into the net.
Off the shoulder, up in the air. Everybody loses sight of it.
Okay, it goes off Farabee's hand.
Oh, Farabee's hand. Okay.
But then it hits Carlson's skate, I think.
And then Lindgren's foot.
And then, yeah. So, since it's going off of a capital, that would count.
Yeah.
Plus, also, it isn't like Farabee's grabbed the puck and closed his hand on it or batted it out of the air.
Yeah, but if it hits any part of your arm, they'll take it away from you. Trust me. I saw Kreider lose a goal like that.
Well, they're still taking a minute here to go over everything.
He threw the puck back on the ice after they took it away from him.
Well, they're talking this long. They're talking about a way to screw you.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But that's the weird part because it looks like it goes off of Wilson's stick from the one angle. So it's like, well, how can you take that away even if it touched Farabee's glove? Because, like, well, Wilson tapped it with his stick and he basically put it in his own net.
Yeah, but if it went in off of a capital, then it's a moot point.
Right.
Which the last person it did touch was Lindgren. So.
Okay, it was Lindgren. So it's
Lindgren's
a capital.
Foot before it went in. It hit the skate blade.
Okay.
That was the last thing it went off of.
It's weird. Literally, from every angle, it looks like it touches different players. That's how weird
it really does.
That's probably why they're still talking about it.
Right. This is a
the Canadians
strange,
just scored,
strange
gentlemen.
way to start this game.
All right,
Well,
let's see.
I was chatting on YouTube that we are seeing the Red Wings.
Hold on, we're getting the judgment now from the ref. Ref is going on his no goal.
Oh, they're calling it no goal. Guys in the
Yes.
chat, if you're watching the game, let us know what they said and why it didn't, because we don't have the sound on.
We would love to
Right,
hear the
right.
explanation as to why the ref called this no goal.
Right.
Now, the ref does look like he's blowing the whistle from his angle. Looking at the ref, he does have the whistle to his mouth, and then he might be blowing it.
You may have been right too. They lost sight of it, as if it went in, into the net. But just to cap off that point real quick, right? The Red Wings are facing the Habs 2 nights in a row in a home situation, and they had to come back last game. So it's good that the Habs got off to a 1-0 lead. But am I surprised? No, because I think the pressure's on the Red Wings here in this game.
Absolutely, 1000%. And there we go. We got the update there. 1-0 Canadians right now, as Brad said.
Nice. Do we know who scored for the Canadians?
I can find out.
Okay.
That's
So
easy.
1-0 for the Habs
Oh.
against the Red Wings.
According to
It
Mr.
was
Brad Ryer, it was
2-1
Alex Newhook.
And Newhook slammed
Okay.
it home. Perfect
Okay.
pass.
We got
All right.
got a little bit of pushing and shoving right in front of the Capitals bench.
Ton of emotions tonight, boys.
Oh,
Ton
yeah.
of emotions.
Prism was saying the play was dead. It hit off of a flyer. It's not a continuation of the shot. And that's all he said.
Interesting. Even though it bounced off of a couple Capitals there.
Plus, I feel like it did touch the pad of who's in goal for the Capitals again?
Lindgren.
Lindgren. That's right.
Yeah, that's
Billy
what
said
happened to Kreider. Kreider lost a goal the same way. Hit his glove and went in, and he was not.
I mean, if the
wasn't
play
trying to
was
put it in.
if the play was dead anyway, it is a moot point because the whistle's been blown. Even if it was a quick whistle, it doesn't matter. It's like, well, the play's dead, so it's not going to count. So
Right. They just got to keep the pressure up here because, like I said, Capitals have played 3 games in 4 days, so
right,
they
gotta
have to be tired.
Oh,
So, there's a big rebound.
It was a big rebound. Unfortunately, nothing but Capitals got to that. That's a trip, and they called it. Wilson's going to the box.
Yeah,
Good.
buddy.
Send that undisciplined schmuck to the penalty box.
Well, the coach is looking at it, so he's not happy about this call, which, I mean, obviously he's not going to be.
Listen, we may not always agree on everything, but you know what? At least the one thing we can all agree on is that Tom Wilson is a douchebag.
That he
At least we can all agree on that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a trip. He got his stick in the skates. And, yeah, maybe Forster embellished it just a little bit. He did a little, not going to lie. But, hey,
Give me to a Bo Barber.
yeah, he might have.
Okay.
But you know what? Wilson has the rep. So, of course,
Well,
the ref's
yeah,
going to
Wilson
call.
touches somebody, he's going to get a penalty.
Right.
You don't-
So it's like, well, that's the problem, Wils. You
Yeah.
have the rep, so they're going to call you.
Yep.
Don't be an
Exactly.
asshole on the ice. Maybe they won't call you in those
Oh,
situations.
now you know that's mentally impossible for him.
That is true. He does have a mental deficiency of
He's
some
a
kind.
he's a
Oh,
cave man.
oh, the Flyers had a glorious chance there on the power play. Nothing came of it, though, but Lindgren, he's getting tested, which is good. Flyers are really making him have to earn his paycheck tonight.
Yeah, so Priz just sent me a video of that little clip there. So,
You got it?
oh, what's this here? Sorry, I was Priz sent me something. I was taking a listen to that. Is this the highlight
Yep.
from the new Huckle?
Yep.
Nice.
Pop that up
Belle
there for
reprise
you.
par Harnier derrière le but, fait dévier à Mailloux. Mailloux va sortir. Mailloux passe au centre.
Oh.
Et voilà Gallagher. Qui est contre 2
Watch
contre 1.
this. Watch the slam dunk.
Il feinte le tir. Goal! Alex Youk! Et un premier point dans la Ligue nationale pour Logan Mailloux.
Yeah, guys, they're flying right now. The Canadians.
They are.
They came out flying. They've missed 2 glorious scoring opportunities before they got that one.
And the Flyers did have a real bad turnover that led to a breakaway, but Erskine came up with a big save.
Yeah, and the Flyers look like they're moving a little bit now too. So,
Oh,
oh,
he couldn't control it, and it's on sides.
35 seconds on the power play. Flyers got it now. Coming up, Cam York.
And there's a shot. Oh,
Good shot
oh,
choice there by
man.
Tippett.
And Cam York talking about double-digit in goals. It's the first time that the Flyers have seen that from a defenseman in a while. One thing I'll go back to you, Brad. You said that you don't believe in the top pairing defenseman. I've seen Sanheim take his game to another level, and what I just said about Cam York, you don't think they can be top pairing?
They're both minus 20.
That speaks volumes.
That's all I'm saying. That's why it's not. This isn't I'm a Ranger fan. I'm just going to kill every Flyer. Okay.
No, I don't think
Not about that. Not about that at all. Sealer is like a plus 10 or a plus 12 or something like that. So, why is Sealer so good and the other guy's so bad?
Because Sealer blocks shots. Those guys really don't. They don't block as many shots as Nick Sealer does. That's the big difference.
Exactly. Yeah, but he's a better defenseman. He is a legit
I
top
don't think
pair.
that makes him a better defenseman.
York's
Well,
minus
defenseman.
12, not minus 20, though.
He's
Just say it.
Sanheim was last time I looked. Sanheim was minus 22.
Prism, by the way, saying Tom Wilson
Big
playing
right.
hockey is the equivalent of when OJ was alive. Just shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh man, the jokes are
Jesus.
going to start rolling
Are
in.
we-
He is down to a minus
Are we
19.
gonna
A
be-
tidy
Oh,
minus
well, there you
19.
go. Some
Let's
improvement.
go. +3. Let's go. Or 4. I don't know. Math is hard for me. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. Listen, I don't have to worry about math on here, so this is why I'm good at doing this. I don't have to worry about doing basic math.
That's the beauty of the stats. They're done for us. We can just look them up.
Yep.
It's the
See, Maddie,
statistician's job.
this is 8 years running, baby. Let's go.
Not a single stat calculated by us, and we're proud of that fact.
Damn right. You let everybody else do that work. NHL.com, Elite Prospects. Who else? Can we make a
NBC
hockey
analysts.
reference. Let's go.
Yeah,
I don't
let
have to
all
do
them
it.
do it.
Chris sent me a
Oh,
clip. He said they ruled that it was not a continuous shot, therefore no goal.
Yep.
Right. It's I kind of feel like that's a somewhat discretionary call on the ref's part. But if the play is dead, that's a moot point. Because it's like, well, play's dead, so I think he's just going to not let it count anyway. So usually refs don't do that. If they blow the whistle, it doesn't matter what happens. It's not counting.
Okay,
So-
Gotcha.
just looking at Chris's comments here.
So far, for his comment here, Alex Vlasic is a -5 on the Blackhawks, and this season that feels like a massive win for any of the Hawks defensemen this year.
Get it, Priz.
Yeah, well, and considering their goaltending's been pretty good, that just tells you how bad their defense really is.
That shows you how bad their offense really is.
Well, yeah, they don't have anybody who can score. It didn't
Outside of
help
Bedard.
that they lost 2 of their top offensive players, though. Around Bedard, and they
You
didn't
mean
have.
Taves and Kane, or are you talking two others? Because I would agree with that.
Oh, I was talking about. Now I forgot who they were. They're Taylor. What's his name?
Oh, Taylor Hall and
And the other and one of those crazy brothers that are always fighting all the time.
oh, I know exactly. Oh, Perry.
Not Perry. No, the guy that used to play for Minnesota. I can't remember his name now. Damn.
Pretty sure said Hall and Perry were playing with Bedard. So
Yeah, but they were on the other. But he was on another line, and he was the protector, and he could score. I just can't remember his name now.
Mike is saying, why are the refs rigging this so the Flyers don't make the playoffs?
Oh, because the NHL wants either Ovechkin or Crosby to make the playoffs. So you could expect that. You can expect that they're going to get all the calls, and my God, I can only imagine how the Chiefs affect the Islander game against the Penguins tomorrow. But that's going to be a factor.
It's no secret that the ratings were kind of down last year for the playoffs, but I think most people have chalked that up to ESPN more so than
Well, yeah,
to
ESPN
teams that made
has
it.
the worst announcers to ever walk the earth.
and
TBS has that imbecile Bissonnette. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Messi has been picking up his game now. I've been valuing his analysis.
Yeah, because he's not prejudiced against any team in particular.
He doesn't need to be. He's won 6 cups.
Yeah,
There's really no need for him to be prejudiced against anybody.
He's won almost as many cups as that clown Bissonnette scored goals.
No. Don't give Bissonnette that credit. He doesn't have 6 goals in his career. Knock it off.
I think, fellas, I think we uncovered one of our reasons why the Flyers could miss the playoffs. That they're not the sexy team that the league wants in. Is that what would you? Was there some of that viability during that 8-game losing streak?
Could be. I mean, I
Were
will
they
say
getting
this:
a lot of bad calls.
they made a few, but I mean, I'll go to say this because we see this year in and year out, especially with some of the more teams that are like on that brink. These teams that are sitting at the bottom of the barrel that are already eliminated are some of the most dangerous teams in the league because they literally have nothing to play for. So teams like the Flyers potentially play down to them, and what winds up happening is you see what you saw last week when they had the 8-game winless streak and just couldn't put it together. These, as bad as those teams are, and yes, those are games that the Flyers should have won, those teams are incredibly dangerous, especially teams like Buffalo, Chicago, and Montreal, because there is potential in those teams that they could make a jump next year. Especially now that Buffalo fired their head coach today.
So, Priz was saying to you, Brad, you mean Connor Murphy?
No. I got to look it up because it's annoying the living daylights out of me now.
He also said teams playing spoiler are always dangerous. And that is true. That's what the Canadians are doing tonight, or at least attempting to do against the Red Wings.
Yep.
Well, they also hate each other too. So
they do have documented history. They are original 6.
Nick Foligno, guys.
Nick Foligno.
Nick Foligno. Okay.
That's the guy I was thinking about. I had to look it up because it was driving me berserk.
I forgot about Nick Foligno. I forgot
Foligno was a very important player for them.
I love Nick Foligno.
Yeah, he can score and he's tough. He does everything. Detroit just tied it.
Not even just that, man. He's a great leader. He's a great guy to have in the locker room to lead a guy like Bedard and Lucas Reichel and some of the other young guys they have in there. It's a guy who's been around. Yeah, he's perfect for these guys to kind of take the brain.
He got hurt, and that was a huge factor.
Yeah.
So Mike's saying Massimo Rizzo made Cutter cry in the Final Four. Denver beat Boston College.
Yeah, he did. Did Max have a? I don't remember. Did Max have a goal in that game? I don't remember if he did or not. But apparently, Flyers are discussing his ELC right now.
Snyder with the goal.
And
who was the guy that was leading the NCAAs in that was a Flyers first round pick that's on that's a Flyer draft pick that was leading the NCAA in scoring that was playing for Denver. University of Denver. Remember I mentioned him?
It was Maximo Rizzo.
Oh, it was Rizzo. Okay.
Yeah, it was Rizzo.
Yeah, that guy's going to be a good player.
So, as Brad said before, the Red Wings did tie the game. So it is 1-1 now in that game that the Flyers are hoping that the Habs could get a win on. Meanwhile, it's still 0-0 here with about 4 minutes left in the first period.
Pretty entertaining first period overall. A little bit of physicality, a lot of feeling each other out too,
and a lot of close calls as well because there's been some golden opportunities for both teams.
Yeah, the power play was actually pretty good. They got a couple really good chances, some really big rebounds off of Lindgren, but the one that TK had was out of reach of who was it, Forster, and then the one that Tippett took just couldn't find anybody.
Guys, you got to think that the Capitals might run out of gas. This is their third game in 4 nights, and you know what? That was a very, very serious effort last night against Boston. I mean, they really extended themselves to win that game. So you got to wonder if the Flyers can hang around. They could probably steal it in the third period. You would think that they would be the more energetic team in the the longer the game goes.
I mean, you would think. I mean, they have the home ice, but at the same time as well, they're coming off of 2-3 days rest as opposed to the Capitals, like you were saying. So there are those couple of things in the corner of the Flyers right now.
I will say the Capitals last night played a tremendous game. I think they held Boston to 16 shots, right?
That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, and they shut him out. But Boston may have just not showed up either, because it's like Boston was not emotionally involved in that game because they know they play the Senators tonight, and all they had to have to do is beat the Senators to win their division.
What were you gonna say, Rob?
I don't remember.
Uh,
It's okay. It was probably nonsense.
okay.
Well, that's the best.
Mike, by the way, saying Rangers getting the President's Trophy means no cup for Brad.
Oh, that's not true. If they don't win the cup, it won't be because of the President's Trophy. Come on, it'll be because they can't score 5-on-5.
I believe the last. Yeah.
A lot of these teams had to play catch up a lot. We look at the Washington Capitals. We look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, right? They were down and out in the standings and had to come back. I mean, back in September, we all thought the Devils would be there, and the Pens, when they got Erik Karlsson, Brad, we thought they would be there too. But having to creep back in like Washington, it takes a lot out of them.
Okay, so they're going to take a look at this one too, like they should. So the Capitals may have just scored. Keyword is may. They're checking something. I'm not sure what they're checking, though. It bounced off of Ovechkin and went into the net. Bounced off of what looked like his
torso?
Yeah. Or his hip.
I think they're checking the stick.
Oh.
I think they're making sure it wasn't hit with a high stick.
High, so I don't think that would result in the goal getting called back. Oh, he's just finished talking to former Flyer Nicholas Aube-Kubel. And yeah, they're going to let that one stand. So it is 1-0 Capitals here in the first. Boy, I'll tell you right now, if you didn't think the hockey gods were against you before, a bad bounce for the Flyers, what should have been a goal, winds up not counting, and a BS bounce going in favor of the Capitals. Have you ever felt like your team has had the odds stacked against it? Woo! There it is right there, proof in the pudding.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the hockey universe was setting them up to take this playoff spot comfortably, but that little 8-game skid kind of really shot them in the foot. But I mean, yeah, they were checking to see if it was a high stick or not, making sure that the stick was not above the crossbar, and obviously it wasn't, which I do agree with. I think that's a good goal, and Ovi just continues to do his thing and punish the Flyers like he always does.
It's his 31st goal of the year. So
wow, he had 5 at the All-Star break.
Hey, finally gave him somebody to play with.
Hey, who's he playing with now, McMichael?
Yeah.
That McMichael guy is pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, looks like it's him, and I can't see who the other guy is. I can't see the number.
Mike's saying could be worse. The Flyers aren't the Chicago White Sox.
True.
That's true.
Boy, their rebuild went wrong.
Oshie's on his line too. So he's got Oshie, and it looks like McGillrath got the assist on those. And McGillrath is a defenseman, so we're not worried about him on the other wing. Or, sorry, up center. He'd be center.
And so right now we're at the last minute of play here in the first. 7 shots apiece. The Capitals up 1-0 off of a weird bounce that wound up going the Capitals' way. Shot that was going well wide. Took a hop off of Ovechkin, off of the higher part of his stick, and bounced right off of it and into the goal.
Yeah, it's been a good first period overall. Like I said, a couple bounces not going the Flyers' way. Capitals got that bounce to go their way. So
that no-go call just killing you. It's a rough one.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess now that I'm actually thinking about it and hearing the explanation, it does make sense that you call that an uncontinuation of the shot. So, I mean, I can see it. I can see it. Does it still sting though? Absolutely, 1000%.
If the Caps win this game, I hope those refs have their last will and testament ready to go, because one of them might get shanked before they have to run to their car.
But Ovi, yeah,
Oh, boy.
Ovi's really turned his game on in the second half of the season here. He's back to being himself.
Second half.
Yeah.
So, by the way, guys, if you saw that graphic, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you like what you're listening to or like what you're watching. We appreciate that. And keep the comments rolling in. We're about to hit the first intermission. 1-0 Capitals here at the end of one. A frustrating way for the first to end. Chris saying refs tapping phone books to their chest. That second taping the phone books. They're putting the jailhouse body armor on themselves. Let's see here. Mike also saying rumors NCAA Big Ten might host Flyers Penguins in State College at Beaver Stadium for a Winter Classic. That would be the second time, I think. It'd be the second time for the Winter Classic for the Flyers and Penguins. I'm not here for it though. The Flyers may have won against the Penguins, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's because the Penguins felt bad. And that's why they let the Flyers have that one, because the Flyers stink outdoors. So I am absolutely against this right now. It is recorded evidence. I am petitioning NHL, do not do this. And the NCAA can go F itself. No game between the Keystone State rivals of the Winter Classic. Absolutely not. No more outdoor games for the Flyers.
I'm on board with that. No, Maddie, that rant was perfect, and it's the truth. But you can't. Nope, not about it. But
my team going out to the outdoor classics. We're 5-0, I think.
Where's that remove Brad button?
Just thought I'd mention. Oh yeah, we beat you one of those games too.
You did.
It's cool, man. I mean, all day, Brad. You got to feel yourself. Your team accomplished something pretty great. So I mean, I don't hate you for feeling yourself.
No, I'm not at all. I just thought it would be funny to say that.
Did they? They won the President's Trophy. But anyway,
hey, listen. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if there's a curse or not. I don't care what it is.
Still hardware.
That's still a major accomplishment. It's not easy to do.
If it was soccer, they'd be parading it all over the place.
Right.
And the Rangers are a pretty complete team that could reverse any curse. I mean, they've shown it once, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it would be nice to score 5-on-5 goals every once in a while.
Sure.
Let's see. So Madam's saying, "What's up, A2D?" I'm assuming that's what he's going to say. Love you, Maddie. Thank you. Tough year for my Devils too. Miss you, brother. I'll miss you guys too. It's a rough year for the Devils. Injuries pretty much destroyed their season. Right from the beginning, too. I swear that team was just a walking Red Cross. They were constantly hurt.
And that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, they had goaltending issues,
when you lose
too.
one of the best point guys on the power play in the NHL, and you lose one of the top forwards in the NHL for most of the season, that's what's going to happen. I mean, you can't lose guys like that.
Yeah, that's I'm actually a buddy of the whole station here. It's Matt Matral who's posting this comment. So what's going on, Matt? Hope you're doing well, brother.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, he actually did a show on A2D way back in the day. It was a political show with one Noah Eaton. So you have to dig into the archives to find that one.
No, I remember you, brother. Hey.
And the only reason I remember is because I produced it. That's the only reason I remember.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here. Me Metal Mike saying Phillies thoughts so far off topic. I don't really have many. It's because I don't really follow baseball. It's very early in the year.
Pitching's been okay. I'm okay with how the pitching's performed for the majority of the season so far. The offense has got to get rolling. It's time. Like, okay, you want to say the weather? Okay. You want to blame the weather? Okay, that's fine. First couple weeks, I'm okay with that. Got to get rolling now. I know JT Realmuto had a 2-run home run today. I haven't seen the score since, but gotta keep rolling here. Got to get going. Got to get Bryce going. Got to get Castellanos going. JT's been okay. Trey's got to get going. He's been hot of late. And then you just got to hit. You got to start scoring runs. I think we only scored more than 5 runs twice this year. So got to keep it rolling.
You know that's going to change.
Oh, of course, it's going to change. It's got to start sooner than later. Got to take advantage of Max Strider being out for the season.
Oh yeah.
So he wants me to rank the Winter Classic, the outdoor games of the Flyers best to worst. Pretty much all of them behind the one we won.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. Okay, all right. The one directly behind the one the Flyers won is the Rangers and Flyers one, and that's because I actually like the jerseys that the Flyers had at that Winter Classic.
They
And then
also-
after that
they
would be
also
the
could have
Penguins
tied that game.
because
Didn't
they
they
had
miss the
good
penalty
jerseys
shot?
that time too.
Yeah.
It was the penalty shot, like right at the end of the game, that could have tied that game, right?
I don't think he missed it. I think Lundqvist it was just
no,
a straight
Lundqvist
shot
stopped
to his
him.
5-hole, and I think he stopped it, honestly.
But yeah, outside of that, I'm good with where the Phillies are. They just got to start hitting.
Chris saying Jack Hughes is injury prone. Meanwhile, Mike also saying, what will the Salt Lake City expansion team be called? And what will the Coyotes fans do now since that they have no team? And this was brought up by Mike actually earlier on in the show. And I wanted to save it until we got to intermission. So we might as well transition off to that for a hot minute. And of course, Mike's was thoughts on the biggest elephant in the room, horrible ownership in Arizona, thoughts on the fans losing a team. It's sad for the Coyotes fans. I feel bad for them that they lost their team. I know I took shots at the Coyotes pretty much their entire existence, but in all seriousness, I feel bad for their fans. Yeah, it wasn't exactly a team to write home about 90% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, but you still lost your team. It's tough to see a team leave, no matter where it is. It's tough to see hockey fans be denied a team that they still supported, even if that team was just kicking them in the face every year. It's sad to put it into. It's completely sad.
It is sad, and they did say a part of this too is that they're not giving up on hockey in Arizona. That could be a spot for maybe an expansion in the future, but not with this current organization.
No.
Yeah, no. So the way it's going to break down, and I don't remember the details completely, but I think it was something the NHL had to buy it from Arizona for $1 billion, and the new ownership in Salt Lake City has to buy it for 1.3. So that's how the financials are going to go. The thing that kind of annoys me about this whole thing, and this should have honestly happened sooner, and the Coyotes fan base has nobody to blame but the ownership. They're not paying bills on the stadiums. They're not paying bills on the hotel rooms. They're leaving everybody high and dry. They don't compete year after year after year. They're a salary graveyard. So if you got somebody on the LTIR, you need to dump salary. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to Arizona. The one thing I do like is the fact that the new ownership has already come out and said, we're going to hit the ceiling with the salary cap. We're going to try and come out competing in our first season. We're going to try and change this organization around. So with that being said, this is probably the best thing that can happen for the Arizona fan base. As for the name change,
I don't think they're going to change it.
I don't know if they're going to
Coyotes
change
are very
it.
prevalent in Utah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this though. I think the NHL said that if they were to go back to Arizona on an expansion, that they would give Alex Morello first dibs on a team in Arizona. So that's something that's interesting to note.
Mhm.
Of course, this wouldn't be until I think 4 or 5 years from now. I think that's so basically the NHL saying that in 4 or 5 years we're going to have an expansion. That's essentially what the NHL just said.
Mhm.
Or Columbus or Ottawa will move here.
Yeah.
But, all right, so Robbie has the clip here from the Detroit goal. Robbie, you want to set it up?
Yes, sir. Just go ahead and pop it up.
Oh, I'm okay. I meant to kind of build it up. My bad.
Oh, build up. Oh, yeah,
Build it up,
yeah.
build it
Well,
up.
this is this is basically a Mo Snyder blast from the point, as the tweet says.
With traffic in front.
Snyder able to get in on Suzuki. The veteran Savard gave it up. Larkin on a steal, drop back to Snyder. Score! Snyder with a blast. Going to the net was Raymond, and it's a 1-1 tie with 91.
He had a good sideline from the point there. He had a good sideline from the point. I like that. That was I think that was a smart shot for Mo there. And obviously big traffic in front. You get the goalie screen. He's never going to see that, especially if you keep it low.
All right then. So now I do believe we have the next one, which is the goal from the Capitals. Yeah.
All right, and obviously we know the build up to this one, so here we go.
we
The
definitely
puck
do.
preventing him from creating anything.
Deflection, score! It hit Ovechkin in front, and Washington grabs the lead.
Yeah, it was a sharp angle shot. The referees are talking this over because the Flyers think it was the hand of Ovechkin went off his glove and in. Can definitely go off a glove.
Okay, so they thought it was off the glove. Gotcha.
So, yeah, so that is where we are at right now. Red Wings tied at 1 with the Canadiens, and the Flyers down 1-0 to the Capitals. And just as a reminder of the scenarios, obviously a lot riding as well on the Pittsburgh game tomorrow. But essentially, if Detroit wins, they've really given themselves a good shot of getting in. And they've pretty much hurt the Flyers' chances of getting in altogether. And if the Flyers win tonight, but they got to win in regulation, they can't win in overtime, then they could essentially get into that playoff spot. But again, a lot hinges on what happens tomorrow with the Penguins. So that's still something that has to be thrown out there. So even if the Flyers do come out on the winning end of this the way they need to be, and the Red Wings take the loss by the end of tonight, they still have to wait and hope that the Crosby and Toe do not win against the Islanders tomorrow.
That's going to be that's going to be if they pull this one off, and it's
Right.
very possible. That's going to be the nail biter tomorrow. That's going to be the nail biter tomorrow. That's going to be the one that everybody's going to be watching because it's literally going to be for all the marbles. So, and again, I know I said this earlier, but you know, this is a season where you're playing with house money, and some people think it's a cop out, but they're playing with house money. They've way exceeded the expectation of what this year was supposed to be, and for that reason, you can't really sit here and like I get some of the point of views on it, but you know this has been a great season. This is something massive to build off of, and you know it's I don't know about anybody else, but everybody should be excited for next year.
Next year will be interesting. We'll have to
Next
wait
year will
and
be
see.
interesting.
But yeah. So with that, after seeing the goals from the Red Wings side of things, and then the goal from the Capitals in the first period with Alex Ovechkin getting his 31st of the season after having a slow start to the year, he bounced back just fine. Why don't we take a look at the West and see what they're at in current playoff matchups? And the reason why is because obviously there's still some moving parts, but for the most part, I feel like the West is kind of set. We know that the 8 teams in the West are set. There's a couple of adjustments here and there that could possibly be made before it's all said and done. But as of right now, okay, so Brad is informing us that the Canadiens and Detroit are back on the ice for the second period. So,
All right, so Maddie, here is the central standings, just to give the people an idea.
absolutely.
So we'll make this a little bit easier. So there's the there's the central standings. Obviously, it's cut off, but the Coyotes and Blackhawks, they don't matter. we're worried about the top 4. We're worried about the top 4.
So right now, the Stars have clinched the division. I don't think, they've clinched the division.
Mm-hmm. I think they clinched it the other day.
They currently have 111 points. Vancouver has 107, and they're in charge of the Pacific. And we'll take a look at that in a second. But for Dallas right now, looks like they're taking on Vegas, which is a rematch from last year. So that's a rematch from the Western Conference Finals. And we would get it in the first round. Whew. That's wow.
Congratulations on winning your division.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's the Vegas Golden Knights, only the defending Cup champs. Do not let the fact that they have to win a wild card spot fool you. This is still a dangerous Vegas team.
And now they're getting Mark Stone back too. Like they didn't plan this out again.
Oh no,
They need to do something. They need to do something about this. These teams, and not necessarily that it's a bad thing, but teams utilizing the LTIR all season long for certain players just to have them come back just in time for them to go to the playoffs. Like it's getting ridiculous. I hate it. It's if you don't play X number of games, you shouldn't get to play in the playoffs. I don't care. Like it's a loophole. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Tampa Bay did it with Kucherov. They're doing it with Mark Stone again. Like he's on the LTIR the majority of the season, and now all of a sudden, just because he gets to come off the LTIR, he gets to play in the playoffs. No, that's got to change.
Brian, I always said that a player needs to play a certain percentage of games to be eligible for the playoff roster.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with that. Like at this point, it's every year it's somebody, and it's some team, and it's getting old. It's getting ridiculous as we're getting ready to start the second period here. It's got to stop. It's got to change. Mark Stone didn't play. He hasn't played the majority of the year. Why does he get to play in the playoffs? Why does he get to make that team better?
Because they pretended that he had an injury.
Like exactly. Like that's the point. Like it's like you put him on the LTIR to make room for Tomas Hertl, and at the playoffs you don't really have a salary cap you have to worry about. So now you can bring him back. It's ridiculous.
So Prism was saying that, and Mark Stone miraculously back after lacerated spleen is bullshit. He also goes on to say weaponizing it, and they used it to get Hurdle and Hannafin.
Exactly.
And then it's been 3 years straight from Stone.
And then you have the year with Kucherov. Like this, teams are finding loopholes. Is it illegal? No, I don't think it's a cheating move. Do I think it's an immoral move? Absolutely, 1,000%.
The Rangers did it with Hedl.
Well, I mean, Philip Hedl isn't exactly Mark Stone or Nikita Kucherov. No offense, I think he's a good player, but
they used the $4 million to bring in Roslovic and Wenberg.
Yeah, well, I mean, like as much as like
Ruedel.
Yeah. I mean, they're not like major stars though. Like they're good support players and they're going to make a difference, but it's not quite the same.
Hedl was legit though. Hedl had a concussion.
No, I'm not saying Hedl. It's Mark Stone.
Yeah, no,
that I'm upset about.
But the Rangers did it with Hedl, so I can't really.
Nobody
expected him to be able to come back and play, but he's if
it's legit, that's one thing. Like
on contact.
To do a quick roundup before we have the second period here, Vancouver would take on Nashville, which they have faced each other, I think, a couple of times in the playoffs, so they have some history. Although it's been a while. The last time they faced each other, Kevin Bieksa was a Vancouver Canuck, so it's been a minute. And Winnipeg would face Colorado. That would be a very interesting series between those two teams.
Special boys.
And then Edmonton. And by the way, do you guys like rivalries? Because Edmonton will take on LA again.
Nice.
Yeah, LA or Edmonton's still in the running for the division. So both teams at 80 games, 3 points difference. So Nashville is probably going to wind up facing either Edmonton or Vancouver.
Right. But all the same, the possibilities there. I kind of hope that it does wind up being the Kings in Edmonton, only because I just want to see them beat the piss out of each other. And I feel like they would, because it's like the fourth time they've faced each other for the last 4 years. It's been just those two in the first round.
Yeah, and the Kings are probably getting really tired of it.
Oh, they have to be getting sick of it. They have to be.
I honestly, I want to see the Canucks and Kings. I think that's going to be a very entertaining, very physical series. I think that would be so much fun to watch. That would be the one I would keep my eye on.
And don't worry, we will be watching and we will be telling you guys all about it. And when there are games on, don't worry, we will be letting you guys know when the playoffs roll around.
Yeah, watch out for the Winnipeg Jets in the West.
Right, and they're going to take on Colorado. So, and Colorado's got an axe to grind because I think they want to prove something this year that what happened last year was BS. Yeah,
but they still have Georgiev in the net. So,
still all the same, they want to prove that what happened with Seattle last year was BS. Even with Georgiev in goal. Mean Metal Mike saying Vancouver can win the cup this season, but how could they in the playoffs, for all of us, what could help them and hurt them?
One thing that could hurt them is inexperience.
Right. Yeah.
They're not a very deep team either. They're more like a one-line team. I mean, that one line is great, but they're really a one-line team.
I mean, Andrei Kuzmenko, since going over to Vancouver, Kuzmenko went to Calgary. Elias Lindholm hasn't been great. I was going to say Kuzmenko's been really good, but he's been really good for Calgary. Yeah, I mean, the depth isn't really there. I mean, the power play's been really good for them. Thatcher Demko's been really good for them. So they're going to have to rely on their defense and their goaltending if they want to get out of the first round, which I think is very doable for them.
And Prism saying Winnipeg just crushed the Avs 7-1 recently.
Sure did.
And he also said Byfield and Kempe, the future of LA. And I think this year is the year they prove it, at least one series win.
Mm-hmm. I actually, I've been on like this massive card kick lately, so I've been getting a ton of hockey cards lately. I was able to land a Byfield Young Gun, which is essentially his high value rookie card.
Nice.
So I'm excited for that.
So right now, still about a minute into the second period here. Flyers and Capitals on a face-off. Unfortunately, the Caps won that face-off. So hopefully nothing comes of that. That's one thing that I will say has really hurt the Flyers. It's been a lack of domination in that face-off zone. You realize how spoiled you were when you had Claude Giroux doing face-offs. Because that man was a face-off machine. He very rarely lost face-offs. So you really do see how spoiled you were when you don't have him anymore.
Yeah, Coots was too. That's one area of his game that, really slowed down during the course of the season, and he's starting to pick it up recently. As you see below, tonight's poll, the Flyer season will be a failure if they miss the playoffs. Agree or disagree? Right now, boys, the poll on YouTube is 53-47 agreeing.
Wow. So they're backing on Brad's side here. Interesting.
I got a scoring update here for you guys.
And the update is Montreal up 2-1 on the Red Wings. So
it was,
positive scoring update.
I can't verify. Brad, if you could verify this for me, I think it was Joel Armia who got the goal. Gallagher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Armia took a shot and it squiggled through Detroit goalie's pads, and the puck was like 2 inches from the goal line, and then Gallagher came and tapped it in.
Okay, gotcha.
By the way, Pris says nice going, Bri, on the card.
Oh, bro. Pris, I got cards to show you, bro. Like, I wish you did not live in Texas. I got so many good ones now.
And then Meanwhile, Mike saying Edmonton destroyed San Jose 9-2 yesterday. Yeah.
They sure did.
But, I mean, also, I'm kind of not surprised. I mean, San Jose had 2 10 spots dropped on them 2 games in a row. This is really not shocking at all this year.
Yeah, their fans obviously couldn't wait for the season to end.
No. The moment the puck first drops, it's like, yeah, the season's over. And especially after you traded away Anthony Duclair halfway through the year. Not that that wasn't going to happen if he was playing well, but now he's playing in Tampa. So... And I do believe he's paid off pretty well for Tampa, actually.
He has. And then on top of it, you trade away whatever solid goaltending you have. And
wow, Primo just put on a goaltending exhibition, guys, for Montreal.
Kid's good.
He really is. He Keith Primo's kid, or
he sure is.
I thought so.
He sure is. There's another one too. Where is he? Vegas? I think his other son's in Vegas. All right, we got the goal right here, boys. Thanks to my main man, Rob, over there.
All right.
Yeah, now watch Gallagher come in late for the garbage.
Make 100% sure it goes in.
Matty, you could have scored that.
In.
I could have.
Yeah,
I could have. I'm not a great shot, but I could have.
That's if I didn't fall down on my way to the net.
Well, first of all, great patience by Joel Armia there, and a very nice toe drag to kind of open himself up there to be able to even take that shot.
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful move. But the
Yeah,
fact that Detroit just let Gallagher just skate right in like that is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Entire
then
team.
Detroit, let's
Right.
be honest, Detroit stinks. If we play them in the playoffs, it's going to be four and done.
So you think it's a sweep?
Yeah, we destroyed them during the season. We won all 3 games. Only one was close.
Interesting. So
They need a goalie. That's the only thing they're waiting on their goaltending prospect to be ready. And I think his name's Sebastian Casa. He's supposed to be their franchise guy. But that's really the only thing to me that's really hurting that team right now is having Alex Lyon in net consistently.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Still got 40 wins this year though.
I gotta give him credit for that, though. He keeps on finding ways to find work, and he usually winds up taking a bulk of the games. Have you ever noticed that?
No, you're right, Matty. Like that's the crazy part.
Well, Husso got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. He
He
did.
missed a lot of times. And Lyon's a pretty good backup.
He is. I mean, he did have to step up in Florida when Bob was having some problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of guy you guys really need. A guy like him, just as a backup.
I wouldn't be against bringing Lyon back on a very small contract. It's like, all right, as a precautionary measure, I could live with it.
Yeah, just somebody with experience. You know, because you can't play Urson every game.
No, and I can't bring in another goaltender at this point. You know, it's you just signed your 2 biggest goaltending prospects. I get it.
Yeah, but they don't have to play with the parent club yet.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to
It
compete
all
for the Stanley
depends
Cup.
on
Dudov's
Fedotov.
27. He's got to play with the big club.
No, but that's the thing. Like, it all depends on Fedotov. How long Fedotov stays in a Flyers jersey, that's up to him. You know, and that's where then you have to make a decision. You know,
He plays well, it's a non-issue. He doesn't play well, then maybe you look towards an Alex Lyon type.
right? That's what I was saying.
I'll be okay with that, but I mean, even I would still even give Kolosov an opportunity before I go out and get another goaltender because, again, I don't know if I'm okay with giving up draft capital for a rental goaltender without being that Stanley Cup contender.
Well, Lyon didn't sign a long-term contract.
No, I don't think he did.
No, he's free agent at the end of the season. You can get him for $875,000. You don't think that's not a good investment?
Not when you're trying to develop goaltenders, and you got 3 in the
but are
pipeline
any of
that are
them
ready
ready?
to go.
Are they ready to go?
Time will tell. I think Kolosov is ready to go. I think
They are ready
Fedotov
to
needs
go,
a little
right?
bit more than 3 games.
Prism saying Kosa going to be solid.
He's going to be very solid. He's very good.
Me Metal Mike said also, remember when Minnesota is in the playoffs consistently for a bit and what happened to the Wild? Yeah, they did nothing.
They never went anywhere.
They were first-round cannon fodder.
They've either been really solid defensively or really solid defensively, and they never were able to balance each other out.
Right?
Nope.
They don't put enough talent around Kaprizov, and when the defense starts slagging, I don't think they have the goaltending I know they don't have the goaltending to measure up.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, Jesper Wallstedt's about ready to make his break in, but yeah, I mean, I totally agree. They can't balance it out. Then they need to get Krill the Thrill some help.
Flyers got to be careful here. Hathaway was getting into it a little bit with Wilson. Like, don't let Wilson bait you into stuff. Just stay calm because right now you're still down 1-0.
Oh no, it's 2016 all over again.
Right.
Wilson baiting Simmons.
Yeah. I could have killed Simmons when he took that bad penalty in that game. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude? There's 5 minutes left in the game, and you're taking a really crappy penalty right now.
Wasn't
Dude.
even
2 of the 800 we couldn't have used.
Right.
Exactly. And the thing that kind of pissed me off the most about that entire thing was the fact that the Flyers were about to go on a power play that night.
Right.
They were about to go on a power play, and Wayne Simmons decided I'm going to go punch this guy in the face, which I probably would have done the same thing in retrospect, but
I get it, but at the same time, it's like, dude, keep your cool, bro. I don't care what he
hindsight
says.
says we were about to go on a power play, and I really just messed that up. So
Right.
But congratulations for him for being able to retire Flyer on the 13th. Well deserved. Never been the biggest Wayne Simmons fan, but I got nothing but respect for the man.
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely.
By the way,
And-
guys, 3-1.
3-1 from
Montreal
Montreal.
scored again.
Nice.
Yeah, bud.
Nice. Oh,
This time it was Caulfield
Cole
I love that kid.
Caulfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
on a rebound. And Detroit had hit the post not just once, twice during the same flurry.
And the Flyers get a chance. Oh,
Ooh, that was a good chance there.
damn. The
Yeah,
finish
you know what?
just wasn't
Detroit-
there.
I'm willing to say this right now. Detroit's in trouble right now.
They
They're-
are. They're
they're
not
not
playing. They're not
They were
living up to
lucky.
the
They
task
were
here.
lucky as hell the other night, and now they look. I mean,
But again, we have to keep reminding ourselves. Prism does bring up a good point. Don't trust any lead with Montreal. They blew a big lead last time.
yes,
so
they
keep
did.
that in mind too.
But they were on the road last time
Get it?
night.
Still.
That Montreal gets the final change, so Lucas Raymond doesn't get to go out against their fourth line. Oh, for God's sakes!
And John Bell said these games, 1 goal over 5 periods so far, and lack of power play. We need goal scoring.
Where did that go, Robbie? You just had it popped up. Did I accidentally close that?
What's that?
I saw you had the goal popped up, and now it's gone. When it popped up,
Oh
popped up?
no, that was the last goal. I'm
Oh,
still waiting
okay,
to have it
okay,
posted.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's already another goal in that game scored now.
3-2.
So
there.
four-
It's 3-2.
Yep.
See? Prism's
just made a terrible
speaking
play on
truth
the
here.
That was
Two-goal lead.
Primo's fault.
2-goal lead's the worst lead to have in hockey, or was it a
It
3-goal
is.
lead?
It is.
What the hell
The
was
Flyers
it?
getting a chance in. Oh, they shot it
They're
wide.
flying.
Come on,
They're
boys.
flying right now. They're buzzing.
Come on, boys. Get some of those shots in.
Yeah.
Don't go for the deflections. I would go for a rebound. Drysdale was shooting for
Oh,
a
that's
deflection there.
terrible. Oh, thank God. A great defensive play was made there to disrupt that, because
That's
that would have been a
ready.
breakaway. So,
Who would have thought Washington would have been in this situation? I definitely did not.
yeah, right?
I definitely did not. I thought they were going to not be a bottom feeder, but I didn't think they would be a wild card team. And here's the update on the.
I think everybody thought they were too old, especially when they lost Backstrom.
When they lost Backstrom, I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But then they get this guy, McMichael, who just kind of re-energizes the team, and there you go.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it, Matty. He's an energy guy.
Right.
Yeah, but he knows where the net is too.
That does help.
Yeah.
You can have an energy guy, but if you can't score.
Exactly.
Let's see. Flyers trying to win this board battle here as there's a scrum here in the corner.
And as always, guys, just a quick little reminder. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on the notifications. You do it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Do it everywhere. And you know what? You'll never miss anything that we do. We always love hearing you guys. Comment in. Keep them coming. We're talking about the game tonight. We're going to talk about a couple of different things that may or may not have gone wrong tonight. We're also going to talk about Cutter Gauthier as well, signing his ELC with the Anaheim Ducks and how the Flyers fans feel about that. So that's still ahead.
So still nothing there. Still 1-0 Caps. Flyers had a couple of really good opportunities, though. Unfortunately, it just did not go their way. Urson gets a whistle. Okay, so let's see here. Priz saying also that the Pens made him look stupid. And
Who?
also said, I said at the beginning of the year, said that they'd be in the playoffs, and I was fully out on the Pens. And then he also says losing backstroke, and they traded cunts, and they keep winning.
We got the one highlight. It's just the Cole Caulfield there, Robbie.
Yeah, this is Montreal goal to go up 3-1.
Okay.
Yeah, again, Caulfield all alone on the rebound. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. He's right
There
there
he
all
is,
by
right
himself. Yep.
Again, the Red Wings with poor defensive coverage in front of their net.
Yeah,
I-
and Slavkovsky there doing a really good job of finding them. Like, we're going to watch. Okay, we were going to watch it again, I guess not, but
Oh,
no.
sorry, it was repeating. I thought you wanted me to.
All
Sorry.
good. No, you're good. You're good. I mean,
What's up, Tommy?
I've been shutting them off immediately after. So, I mean, I get it. It's all good. No worries, brother. No worries.
Hey, new toys. We got new toys here, so we're trying them out.
Yep.
So I will say this though, who would have thought that you get this rebound from the Penguins too? Like, I mean, to piggyback off of Priz, it did look like the Pens were kind of screwed there, like towards halfway through the season. Like, Pens are starting to look like they're done, but they rebounded big in the second half. And they finally actually looked like the team they were trying to fuse back together here. It's like, oh crap, Pens found their game.
Y'all let them back in the race. I mean, nobody could win a damn game for like 2 weeks.
That's true. That's another thing too. Mark it down as well. The Flyers had golden opportunities to bury the Caps and other teams, and they just kept on losing.
Yeah, well, it wasn't just the Flyers that were losing every game. The Capitals were losing almost every game for a while there, and everybody was losing except the Penguins.
Right.
I mean, Buffalo even made it close at the end.
Oh yeah, that is all Primo's fault. I just saw that goal that the Red Wings just scored there.
That was a terrible goal. The rebound was one thing, and then he's standing there with his legs wide open. For God's sake,
that looked like a goal you'd see scored in the 80s.
His legs were spread wider than a two. No, I can't say that.
Hey now.
Red Light District.
Boy. You guys know what I was going to say. I don't want to say that. Might upset upper management.
Got my finger on the trigger, Brad. Don't make me do it.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we definitely do.
Yes. That was a terrible goal. I mean, can he have his legs any further apart? I mean, come on.
Like I said, it looked like a goal you'd see in the 80s from a lazy goaltender.
Yeah, that was really bad. I mean, listen, we all could have scored that goal.
Oh, yeah. Me, Mel, Mike saying favorite 2000s players from each team in the Metro. Ooh, that'll be off topic. We'll talk about that in the intermission. Priz saying, I was out on the Pens at the beginning of the year with EK, and I thought that they'd be better, but just too old at all positions. Unfortunately, they've pulled themselves back.
No, Sid's been
another good opportunity there missed.
Yeah, I know. Flyers got to get this finish.
Unfortunately.
He's
having an incredible season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the threat of missing the playoffs sank in, and he was like, no. And they were this is a team that gave up Jake Getzel, too. But they brought in some players, sort of like addition by subtraction, reworked the roster, and they got themselves back in it.
The goal that Crosby scored last night. I mean, as much as I hate him, I admire that one goal last night when he just dove in front of the net from behind the net to knock in that shot that was sitting in the crease. I mean, it was ridiculous, that goal. I was like, he wasn't even in the picture, and all of a sudden you just see him dive to get his stick out there and tap it in. I was like, where did he go?
Oh, I know what goal you're talking about.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. Maddie, I just so you know, I did star Mike's comment so we can get back to it in the intermission. So so we don't forget about it.
Thank you, Bri.
Of course, brother.
And Capitals do regain possession. They tried to get the puck out of their zone, and it did not go. Urson gloved it back up, said, okay, we are going to try this again.
And talk about a guy that hit the wall and talk about, finding an answer back. I mean, I think that's, emblematic of this whole locker room, that they were down and out. And whether, you question, their compete level during that 8-game losing streak, at least to be able to respond back and play it out to the very end. I just see that no matter how tonight works out, fellas, this is a good thing for the Flyers, right? That they're going to learn from it. They're going to learn through adversity and come back a hungrier team. Or if they can get themselves in the playoffs and get that much more experience and accomplish that feat, then that sets them ahead of the game. If they don't, they can always, they'll probably be, if they miss the playoffs, I believe they'll be a top 12 team in the lottery. So with 2 first-round picks that could maybe be traded to move up in the draft. So there's a lot of different ways that could go. I just see a lot of positives happening right now. No matter what happens tonight.
Though.
Agree.
What's that?
This is a playoff game for them tonight.
Oh, it is.
Now, according to Torch, he said, don't call it a playoff game. It's not a play. It's not, they're not in the playoffs, but it's got that intensity, Brad, and you're 1,000%. I mean, either one of these teams win, they give themselves a strong shot.
Win when it's win or go home, it's a playoff game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me-mail Mike said,
agree
by
with
the
that.
way, top of the 8th, 3-0 Phillies. So, for anyone out there who was wondering what the Phillies game score was,
Who's pitching tonight
and
for the Phillies?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure.
so
I'm always looking for fantasy assets. You know
The,
what I'm
the,
asking.
the,
very
the
important.
funniest part about it is I was watching a little bit of the Phillies game before I flipped over to the pregame, so I was not really paying attention. I was too busy.
I
setting
mean,
this
it's
stuff
a
up.
road Rocky, so I'm not going to get too excited. You know what I
No.
mean? Like,
No.
oh, Ranger Suarez, yeah.
Okay, so
8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks. So the start even against
another
the
great
Road
outing.
Rockies.
I don't know if you would consider it one, but I could definitely consider it a quality start, and that's another quality start for Ranger Suarez this year.
Chris saying, by the way, off-topic statement, Fallout TV series is awesome. Interesting.
I wanted to check it out, but I think it's on Prime. I don't have Prime.
Let's see.
I got Prime. What's that?
Fallout.
Oh, yeah,
Fallout.
yeah.
And that's a fun game. Found myself I never really played as an outlaw in that game. I always just did the hero path with it. Although I still wound up being like a menace to the Mojave in New Vegas. I don't know how that happened, but okay. And let's see here. Washington trying to push it out. They do get it out. So now the Flyers got to try and play some defense here. Got to get it up. And they're struggling chipping that puck out. There we go. All right, Flyers work it out of their zone. Come on, boys. Coots passes and weak backhander. Didn't get through, but the Flyers still have it. Come on, guys.
You get the feeling that the Flyers can just break through.
Yes, there
it
we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Eric Johnson.
There
You willed
we
it into existence. They
Yeah.
just break through.
All right. There we are. Johnson with his first goal as a Flyer, I believe, right?
Wow,
Yes,
what a
sir.
time for your
Nice.
first goal.
Yeah. Whew. So 1-1 now between the Flyers and the Capitals. A huge goal, and I believe that is a deflection.
Sure
It
is.
bounced right on by Lindgren. Nice.
That's awesome. Good for him. He needed that.
He did. He did. What a way to get your first goal as a Flyer. What a way.
I mean, judging by his reaction, it's definitely his, but Coots was right there too.
He was. But hey, good job by the Flyers. They stuck to
Whoever
it.
scored, all that matters is it's 1-1.
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I just for the sake of argument here, Coots needs a goal too.
Oh,
Definitely.
he does all right.
If he
Get
gets
that
his goal, if
confidence.
he can get credit
Yeah.
for this goal, he can get him going.
Yeah,
Well,
because he's the
whether
captain.
Johnson gets credited or not, still, they decided to go with him over other options, replacing injured player, and he comes in, sets up a good goal, or scores that goal. That's a key time right there.
Mhm, absolutely. He went down in front of the net, so they put some bodies down there. Eric Johnson, like I said, Eric Johnson and Coots were both right there in front of the net, so doesn't matter. Like Brad said, the important thing, it's 1-1. Let's go.
And right now the Caps trying to fire a bad angle shot. Did not go nowhere. Flyers now going to try and push it back up. And they are not off. Okay, I thought they were for a second there.
Eric
And-
Johnson getting credit for now.
Yeah, it's his fifth of the year.
Chris saying Eric said, "Fuck you, Buffalo."
I got the clip, Robbie.
You got it?
I think so.
Cool.
Maybe not. I got a cool little graphic though.
Well, that's nice. That's always nice to have a nice graphic. And let's see, the Capitals pushing that one through into the
Yeah,
Flyers
let's see if I can pull
zone.
this up.
Played by Urson. They do chip it up.
Can I pull this up?
Come on, boys.
Come on, give it to me.
Ah,
Give it to
turnover at the blue
Damn.
line. And now Flyers go into the Cap zone. Dish back shot. Oh, man, Lindgren had to fight that one off.
I mean, Why not? So this was actually kind of cool. I didn't know Twitter did this.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool. Nice. It's actually just like the one they play in the arena.
Sort of.
By the way, guys, Montreal is on a
Yeah.
power play.
Montreal has a power play, you said?
Yes, they do. And they
Okay.
just missed just now.
Oh, let's go.
So
let's
icing
go.
just got
Oh
called on
my
the Flyers.
I can't believe that. I can't believe Lyon just stopped it. Detroit did a cross ice one timer, and Lyon got over there and was able to knock it away with his glove.
Okay.
Spectacular save.
I mean, sometimes Lyon does make those saves. You're just like, man, how did he do that?
I thought that was going in. That was a beautiful play by the Canadians.
And now the Flyers do win that faceoff. They do manage to clear it out of their zone. Oh, they just gave it to Couturier. That's what it says on the graphic on the telly here.
It is Couturier. Okay. I thought I saw it go off of his stick, but I mean, the way that Eric Johnson reacted.
All the same, though, that's great. Like you were saying, Bri, very important for him to get going. So, you know what? Hey, I'll take it.
Yep, for sure. Mike, don't worry. We got the comment. We got the comment for you, brother. Don't worry. We're not going to forget you, bro.
Yeah, we started. We made sure we saved it for the intermission.
I got 2 of yours, actually.
And Chris said it's the comment of all comments.
I love what Twitter titled this goal highlight. Needed it.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, absolutely. So here we go. Here's the goal by Sean Couturier for those who are watching at home that aren't watching the game.
Oh wow, Montreal has a 5-on-3, boys.
Nice.
Yeah,
So you see Zamula up at the point here.
the Wings just shot the puck out of the rink. Oops.
Little deflection. Like Couturier and Johnson were both in the area. Like you could tell by Johnson's reaction that he thought it was his, but I could have sworn I saw it go off of the. So you see, watch the replay here. Watch it. Click. I mean, it could go either way. They were both right there.
And here comes the Flyers back in. And that shot didn't get through, but they still have the opportunity for some pressure here.
Was Mama Sensuti watching the Phillies?
Oh, she is all right.
No, we can hear her.
I'm sure you can. I have not a doubt in my mind.
I wasn't sure if Mama Sensuti was watching the Flyers, but you so.
No. She's watching her Phillies. She figures I got the Flyers covered.
Yeah, you got to cover both bases somehow, right?
Yeah, very
All good.
important.
All good.
That way you guys can get your own live updates for the Phillies. Not that for two of you it doesn't matter, but at least for Brian.
You son of a bitch.
And that one pushed forward. All right, Flyers going to reset in their own zone. 27 hits to 19 in favor of the Flyers. And the Caps have 16 block shots to the Flyers 11 in this game so far.
Yeah, you can
Very
see
rarely they get outblocked.
And you can see Washington starting to tire out a little bit. They don't have as much jump as they did in the first quarter. First period.
Technically, I guess you could say the same thing.
Listen, man, I'm not used to being on at this time anymore. I'm
Used to being on later.
give me another half an hour, I'll be good.
Do you know who's in goal for Detroit tonight? Reimer.
Should be Alex Lyon.
No, it's not Lyon. It's Reimer. I was wrong.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
Reimer. Reimer made. You know what? That save, I was wrong. It wasn't his glove. It was his blocker, and it hit his blocker so hard.
Oh, great chance. Oh! Yeah, he couldn't get the elevation over the pad. Oh, what a chance for Konechny.
That's the second time he's been unable to get the puck up, and he needed that one.
Oh,
Good glove save.
oh what
Opportunity.
that was
huge
such
opportunity.
a great chance. That would have been so huge if the Flyers had been able to take the lead. Oh, he just couldn't get it over. Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get the leverage on that one. He had to extend to get that puck, but I mean, good opportunity. They're getting pucks on them and on net, and
They are.
Some of the rebounds are getting the chances. Like I said, they're starting to have a little bit more jump than the Capitals right now. So this third period is going to be very interesting for this club here. Oh man,
It's
anxiety's
intense.
starting to build.
Hey, here's a question, guys. If it's tied with like 2-3 minutes to go, I guess the Flyers pull the goalie, right?
That's been the
honest,
chatter all day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. I would be even ballsier than that. I pull him at 5.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
No, because you got to do it. You have no other choice. What's the worst? They score an empty netter on you. You have to score here. Get that extra attacker out immediately.
I get it. Not at 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is too early.
You got to take the chance, though. I mean, if there's ever a time to do it, I wouldn't do it in a normal situation, but this is not a normal situation. This is go big, go home. You got to throw the dice here.
Give me like the 2.5 minute mark, then yeah, absolutely. I'm all for it. I can't do it at the 5.
I don't know if that's enough time.
Here's one reason that would be a good idea, Maddie, because if you allow the Caps to score an empty net goal to punch their ticket into the playoffs over the Penguins, then it might still be worth it while you try to punch your own ticket. So either you're going to punch your ticket or you're going to fuck the Penguins. So either way, it works.
Win-win, right?
Okay. No, I'm about it because it's all or nothing. You got to go all out. I'm about pulling the goalie in a tie game. Give yourself the extra man.
Right.
But I don't know if I could do it as early as 5 minutes.
Well, in the pregame presser with Tortzer that I shared with you, Brian, we're going to listen to that later, but it's another quote from there. But he said earlier he was asked, would he pull it? And he goes, yeah, But he goes, I'm not going to do it just because I'm going to allow the game, and make the call in the flow of the game. You know what I mean? It's not something he could say right then and there. And that's good because you don't want to give away your hand either.
Of course.
And that's important.
Absolutely.
And Metal Mike saying 5-0 Phillies, bottom of the 8th.
It's too much time there, in my opinion. 3-2 at the end of the second between Montreal and Detroit. Referee just went down. Whoopsie.
Well, I'm sure that would get a bit of a pop from the Philly crowd after what happened in the first period.
Got to be careful. The ice is slippery in that spot right there.
It can be. Dangerous neighborhood on that ice.
My dad joke. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Let's see.
Flyers need to come out flying in the third period, get traffic in front of the net.
They definitely do.
They've definitely been doing a good job of that of late. So
Ovi with his goal tonight, he is at 853 on the all-time goals list, 894 for Gretzky. So he's back in the thick of it, boys, to catch him.
He can do it next season if he has a really good year.
3 years left on his contract? I'll double check that. I think he can very easily do it because I think he's still under contract and he's got 41 to go.
And he rebounded after having the slow start this year. So, I mean, he's very capable of still catching that.
Where'd it go? There it is. All right, so Alex Ovechkin is going to have 41 goals to go, and not including this year, he has 2 years left on his contract to do it. So he's just got to do it. 20 goals.
It's doable.
It's very doable. And he's got a full no movement clause on both.
That really doesn't surprise me at all. The no movement clause. Sure.
No. But he's making the most he can this year. Next year he drops to $6 million. He's at $11.5 million right now. I think he's including incentives and stuff like that. $6 million in bonuses and then $4 million in bonuses too. So
they left the cap right alone, right in front of Urson, and thank God nothing came of that. And having a little bit of a rough go of it here at the end of the second. The Caps are buzzing a little bit here.
35 seconds to go.
Were they playing a little rope-a-dope?
A little bit.
Oh, we're tired? No, we're not tired?
Yep.
I mean, this is a cagey veteran team, so wouldn't put it past them. Oh, big chance for the Flyers.
Oh, I thought Johnson got it.
In front of the net. What a block by Oshie.
Sorry, it was Forrester.
Oshie just made a huge defensive play to keep his team from going down by 1 at the end of the second.
Cool equals John Tortorella. Keep dreaming on that one, David.
And it
I
was
don't know if I
Protus
see
who was
that.
all by himself in front of Urson.
So many card companies load up every single pack with so many Protus cards. I have more than I would ever think I would ever want. But the good news is they're all serialed. So, and by that I mean they're all numbered, which gives it a little bit of value. So
Well, there's that at
always good.
least.
It's always good.
So
So that adds a little bit of value.
About 9 seconds left here in the second before we are heading into our intermission. Coots 3 and 6 tonight on the faceoffs, as they were showing on the graphic there.
Like I said, he's been picking up steam lately, at least getting back to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
So we are at the end of the second, and we head to the intermission. The Flyers with the oh-so-important tying goal given to Sean Couturier. Originally thought it was Johnson's first goal as a Flyer, but that is okay. It doesn't matter who scored, like Brad said. What matters is that it was a tie game.
It was definitely tipped, though. I mean, you could see that. They just showed it before. It was definitely tipped. I mean, there's no question about that. And the Flyers had a lot of guys in front of the net, too.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to do that because Lindgren is really good.
Yeah, he's playing well tonight, Lindgren
He's been good. He's been good all season.
I like the Flyers' chances right now. You win a period, you might find yourself in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Might. Final 20 coming up here.
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, the way Montreal is playing, if they don't go into a third period choke again like they did last night, I mean, Detroit looks very, very shaky. They look nervous and they look shaky defensively.
So, into the second period we go. Let's take a look at our starred comments here as we build up for the third here. Mean Metal Mike with both of them. First one was Happy Gilmore 2. I did not know that was a thing.
It's happening.
Really?
It's going to be on Netflix. Yep, it's happening.
So it's just, is it a movie or is it a series?
No, it's going to be a movie. Christopher McDonald's already confirmed that it's in pre-production as well. And Christopher McDonald, for those who don't know, is the actual name of the actor who played Shooter McGavin in the first.
So I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like there's really no reason for a sequel here because it was kind of fine as just a one-off. You know?
I'm good with it.
I don't know about that one. I feel like Adam Sandler's pulling at straws now to keep himself relevant.
I mean, possibly. I mean, they did talk about doing a Happy Gilmore 2 a couple years ago, which is a few years ago I would have been okay with it. But I mean, at this point, I'm not. Just let it be. If Adam Sandler wants to do a sequel on any of his other movies, the one that I would be okay with 1,000%, give me another Grown Ups movie, or give me That's My Boy 2.
That would be interesting if they did That's My Boy too. I actually liked that film. I thought that film was hilarious.
Oh my god, it was great. It's in my top 3 of Adam Sandler movies of all time.
Yeah, I would say that was a really good. That was a really funny film. Let's see here. I feel like it'd be like, doing a Happy Gilmore 2 would be like doing a Billy Madison 2. It's like, why would you do that? It's like there's really no reason for it,
No, I'm all about it. The story was, and they didn't really do anything outside of this. The story was hockey player tries to save grandmother's house by going on the PGA Tour, becoming a professional golfer.
Right.
Okay. That's the premise.
And he's got a real super temper problem.
Right. He tried to stab a guy with a skate. It's fine.
Right.
So he goes out, wins a tournament, wins the Masters, gets the gold jacket, saves his grandmother's house.
Right.
There's really no cliffhanger there to really open up and do a Happy Gilmore 2.
Right. There's really nothing. They kind of
Sure there is. The clown wants revenge.
Okay.
The son of the clown.
That's true. Happy Gilmore 2, Chubb's Revenge.
Well, maybe you could pay some homage to some people we recently lost, in Carl Weathers and Bob
Yeah.
Barker, a few years back. But still, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Do you have Drew Carey in his place? Is that what you do?
I still can't. That's still one of the funniest things in the world when he shot the ball into the Gator's mouth. That he says, "Give it back, you dirty bastard!" Literally did a spit take when I heard that the first time because I did not expect him to say that.
I mean, that was probably like when I first saw the movie. That was definitely one of my favorite scenes, was the alligator scene, and then obviously the fist fight with Bob Barker.
Oh my
and
god!
Just recently, I don't know his real name. I wish I knew his real name. I do, but the guy who played the jackass guy,
Oh,
he's like, "You're gonna miss his putt, you jackass! You suck, you jackass!" He just recently passed too, so hopefully we do something for him as well. Yeah,
right. I'm sorry if I left him off. Joe Franklin, was it? Come on.
Joe something. I can't remember it.
No.
But yeah, he was another one that made me laugh in that movie too. He's like, "Hey, sure, you want to go to Sizzler? My treat."
What was it?
Yeah, from SCTV. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
On a funny note, have you guys ever worked in like retail and you were doing price checking and you saw that a price was wrong, and you ever felt that temptation to say, "Price is wrong, bitch"?
Oh boy,
Joe Flaherty.
Joe Flaherty. That's it.
Yeah.
Maddie, did you not realize what I do now?
For sure, buddy.
Right. I know, but have you ever seen a wrong price tag and never said it? If not, you should.
I read the room before I say certain things
okay.
at the store that I work at.
But anyway, on to our next comment. Me Metal Mike with favorite 2000s players from each team in the Metro. So Priz has his. We'll throw that out real fast before we give ours.
Yeah, I think I started that one too.
Washington Ovi, Pittsburgh Mario, the Islanders Bailey, the Devils Langenbrunner. I'm interesting. I did not expect the Langenbrunner pick. Nothing against Langenbrunner, but Carolina Ward, and Philly Gauthier, Blue Jackets Nash. Yeah, that's not a shocker there. And he picked Lindros for the Rangers. Interesting. I don't know if I would have picked Lindros in his time with the Rangers, but interesting, Priz.
I don't hate it.
No, I don't hate it.
How about Yager?
I mean, right? Yeah, I was thinking, like, really? No Yager on that Rangers one?
Yager only scored 55 goals for them one year.
I'm kind of shocked he didn't do that.
What was Gretzky into the 2000s, or was it 99 was his last year?
He was 1999. He was done.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he went into 2000 or not.
No.
He was offered quite a heavy extension, but he turned it down.
Yeah, when you know you're done, you're done. You know.
Yeah, that was what it was.
Your body will tell you.
His last season, he had 9 goals and 53 assists. So for him,
the scoring touch wasn't there, but he was still an assist machine.
So just before we address our Metro Division picks here.
Sure.
Me Metal Mike, that he was dead before Adam Sandler's first movie came out, so he could have never have done an Adam Sandler movie.
Would have been great if he had the opportunity. Mm-hmm. That would have been fun if John Candy had been in one of them.
Man, with AI, anything's possible these days. So
that is a good point.
Watch out.
That's a good point.
Fair enough. I get it. I mean, listen, that's no shot at Me Metal Mike, because big John Candy fan. I loved his movies growing up. Great Outdoors, amazing. Uncle Buck, amazing. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, let's go. I love John Candy. He's so funny.
And Prism saying Yager was gonna be, but I wanted to put 2 Flyers on the list. Oh, okay. And Mean Metal Mike said Yager for the Rangers on his pick there.
So I'm just gonna pull his back up real quick, Maddie. So,
sure.
For me, for Washington, yeah, it's probably Ovi in the 2000s. Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's probably going to be the same. It's going to be Mario. It's hard to not be Mario.
Timeout. Sorry, don't mean to interrupt you, Bri. Priz, feel free to clarify this if you want to, brother. Are we just talking the aughts, or are we going into the 2010s? Yeah,
Okay.
that's something I just want to be 100% sure on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep going, bro.
Islanders. Islanders is a little tough. I'm going to come back to the Islanders. Devils, it's Patrick Elias all day, every day. Carolina in the 2000s. What's up, Sam Malone? See you in the chat. I want to say Kim Moore, but I'm going to go Rob Brindamore. Rob Brindamore for sure. Flyers for me was Eric Desjardins. Rangers. I'm trying to think of who was in the Rangers in 2000. This is where my memory of all the NHL games is going to come into play.
Eric Bugard.
Bugard, the boogeyman.
The boogeyman. The new Matt Rempe. Or I should say, Matt Rempe is the new Bugard.
To be fair, though, when Bugard was there was a reason he was there. He had a role.
Yeah, and you know what? He never lost.
Right.
So I'm not sure about the Rangers or the Islanders, but Columbus is definitely Rick Nash.
Yeah. I would find it hard to pick anybody else.
Brian Leetch. Was Brian Leetch a Ranger in 2000? I know he was close to the end of his career at that point.
Yeah, he was.
Brian Leetch for sure for the Rangers.
Did he get he got traded, right? Or did he sign as a free agent to Dallas?
Leetch got traded to the Leafs.
Oh, he got traded to that's right. He went to the Leafs.
Yeah.
Then I think he finished his career in Dallas. That's right.
Hey, you know what? Let's go Ziggy Palffy for the Islanders. He's really the only man that's really sticking out to me for the Islanders in 2000.
I could see it. He went to LA too, and he did great stuff over there as well.
He sure did.
He was really good there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. Okay, I guess we'll do this. By the way, we got the board set up here, so I guess I'll go. Washington.
2000s, not 2010.
Okay. Just wanted to be clarified on that because that's going to change answers big time if we were including the 2010s.
Oops. Sorry, Matty.
Okay, so just the odds. For Washington, yeah, it's kind of hard not to go Ovi because I can't really think of too many major players from the early 2000s because they were not. They made the playoffs, I think, twice in the 2000s, and they were just awful after that. So yeah, I would say go with Ovi on that one. Pittsburgh.
I actually did just think of two other names, Maddie. If you want to hear them, but I want to see if before I do that, I want to see if Rob and Brad bring them up.
All right. Well, Dale Hunter wasn't playing anymore by that point, was he?
Nope, but he wasn't. No, but he wasn't one of the guys I was thinking of.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for the Capitals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. So Pittsburgh. Because I'm probably not going to be able to put him in for Philly, I'm going to put Recchi in there.
Interesting one.
Yeah, I'll put Recchi in there. Still love Recchi. Let's see. For the Isles, I think I'm going to go with Palffy on that one too. I think that was a really good pull from there, Bri. Really good call on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't think of anybody else that played for anybody relevant that played for the Islanders at that time.
The only other person you could argue is Yashin. That's the only other person you could argue.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And you know what? Yashin. I'm going to change that. Going with Yashin on that one. For the Devils, I'll go Gianna. I hated Gianna, but that man could freaking score. So you know what? I'm going to go with Brian Gianna. Carolina, Rod Brindamore. Hot Rod all the way on that one.
Yep, that's mine.
Nice. For the Flyers, Gagne. I'm not changing Gagne. Favorite Flyer, not changing that. Nash, easy for the Blue Jackets. Rangers, Yogs. I'm going Yogs on the Rangers. So it's hard to argue against Yogs. He was the captain during that time period. So
He scored a hell of a lot of goals.
he did.
Yeah.
He did. They fleeced Washington when they got him, too. So,
They played Anthony Carter. I mean,
right. That was who they traded for. It's like, Anson Carter? Like, nothing against Anson. I liked his analysis in between games, but
he was a pretty good player.
He was a pretty good player, but Yager? Really?
No,
Are we
not for
serious
Yager.
here? Like, come on, guys. Come on, Caps.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Anyway, maybe they were just trying to tank to get Ovi. But anyway, going on. Brad, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to start with the Capitals. Okay, just because the Capitals seem to be the main event right now, and that would be Peter Bondra. I always liked him.
Bondra. Oh, yeah, Bondra.
He used to kill the Rangers, though. Oh my God, they could never stop.
I forgot all about Bondra.
Yeah, he was good, and he wasn't dirty. He's just a really good player.
That was one of them.
Yeah. What did Flockhart play in the early 2000s, or was that earlier?
Flockhart?
Yeah. Flocky hockey.
I think he did, actually.
Yeah, I kind of like watching him play. He was always fun. He was always fun to watch. The Rangers, it was definitely Yager. No ifs, ands, or buts. The Penguins, Mario, obviously. I mean, who else? The Devils. Boy, oh boy, I hate it. I just hated that team. But I kind of like Ken Danico because you know what he just was always there. And he is Mr. Devil, so I'll give him that, even though I can't stand the Devils. Who is the goalie on Carolina? Cam Ward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be Carolina. Am I forgetting any teams?
The Flyers and the Blue Jackets.
Well,
I
the
believe.
Flyers are Flockhart.
Oh, Flyers and Flockhart. Okay, yeah, my bad.
And
the Isles, I think. Did you do the Isles?
the Islanders back then. Oh boy.
I feel like that one's the toughest one out of them, though, for you.
I got a good one. I got a real good one.
But the Islanders. I'm trying to remember who was on the Islanders back then. No, Turgeon was gone by then. He was actually a nice, clean player. Geez,
you can pick a scumbag on the Islanders if you want to.
I'm drawing a blank with the Islanders just because.
I picked a scumbag on the Islanders. Yashin was a scumbag. So
Yeah, that's true. He screwed over the Islanders pretty good. How about Zdeno Chara?
Right.
Just for spite because they stupidly traded him for Yashin.
Right.
Remember they traded Chara to the Senators.
Right.
For Yashin.
That was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that may have been one of the dumbest trades of all time. So let's go with Chara.
Okay, Chara. Okay, so for the Isles, Chara.
Be an SOB. And Brandon Dubinsky, no question.
Okay, for the Rangers.
For
Columbus, you mean? Yeah, I got you.
For obvious reasons. One of
Makes
my favorite Rangers, by the way.
All right, Robbie, to you, my man.
Cool. Some of it's similar, some of it's different. I mean, Washington, Ovi, Pittsburgh, Mario. For the New York Islanders, I'm going with Gar Snow.
Snow. Go Snow.
Hey, he was my favorite, and what he did for that organization in the years that they put a lot of money to Rick DiPietro and he gave them dog shit, Gar Snow kind of helped keep them afloat.
That's true. Actually, you're right. Oh, man. Okay. All right.
And for the Devils, I'm going to go with Scott Niedermayer. I mean, he's a prominent player in the late 90s as well, but he was still part of the cup-winning teams in the early 2000s before he went to Anaheim. Yep.
That's true.
Oh, you like that, right? Yeah, I hear you. For Carolina, I agree with Maddie. Hot Rod. How could it not be? For Flyers, I'm going to go a little contrarian. I'm going to go Keith Primo, the captain. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it spent a few years with us in the 2000s, and helped us, do some things in the playoffs, specifically in 5 overtimes. The Blue Jackets, definitely Nash. And the Rangers, I want to go with the easy one with Yager. But there's a guy that I'm thinking of, and I'm trying to look it up right now. I mean, you could also go. I mean, Lundqvist's guys start in the mid 2005, but I think he was more dominant in the 2010s, right, Brad?
Yeah.
Still, though, he
Yeah.
did
He was
make a
very
great
good.
impression for
He
the
was very
Rangers.
good.
Though.
He was very good though for them for a while.
I mean, hell,
Yeah.
when you guys got back to the playoffs, Lundqvist was the main catalyst for the Rangers having a deep run.
Oh, he was the reason for everything.
Yeah.
For that team. 'Cause they offensively they were always a little challenged.
By the way, the third period started, and the Flyers had a couple of really good chances there.
Yeah, and Detroit already tied it up, by the way.
Oh, of course, because we can't have anything nice.
No, Sprong just scored.
What's up, Timmy? I see you in the chat. Jeff Lohmeyer, what's going on? I see you in the chat as well. Yeah, Wings tied it.
What's up, Timmy?
Well, judging by your emoji using that,
No,
Jeff, are you a Wings fan by chance? I'm
Can
okay with it. You wouldn't be our first one.
Jeez.
Yeah. Look for Don.
Yeah, where's Don
Who's
Don
conveniently absent tonight? Yeah.
Yeah, he is conveniently absent. That's weird.
Daniel Sprong with the game
Another
time goal
horrible
there.
goal given up by Primo.
Jeff, appreciate it, my
Just
friend.
a
Appreciate it.
terrible
Always give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely
Chris,
turn your notifications on. We're live every Tuesday, usually not this early.
Chris is just
Actually.
like fucking Montreal.
On time right now. So
Well, that was a horrible goal that was just scored from an impossible angle.
Chris saying, I just couldn't remember liking any of the Islanders news. I don't even think the Islanders fans liked anybody on the Islanders in the early 2000s, to be honest
They
with
were
you.
pretty bad back then.
Yeah.
Elon wasn't on the team back then, was he? Was he before that?
No, I don't think he was. I think wasn't
Yeah.
Pilon in the 90s?
Yeah, Richie was in the 90s. I always liked him as a player. That's why I ended up getting him for us and getting him when he was getting him for Sports Hounds because he was a funny guy.
He is hilarious. Yeah.
He is.
Wasn't he one of the players who had to wear the infamous fisherman jerseys? Wasn't he on the team during that time?
I believe he was. I believe he was.
I mean, I might be the only one, but I love those jerseys.
They updated them when they did the reverse retro, and those looked okay. But the original ones were kind of weird looking.
I think they should have just had a picture of Mrs. Paul.
All right, guys, real quick, if you haven't yet, go ahead, Robbie.
I'm going to throw in Brian Leach towards it, in the Rangers discussion, even though, I mean, again, more prominent in the 90s, but played as a Ranger until 2003-04 season.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't make the playoffs with him as a captain, though, unfortunately.
Oh, no. Oh, what a
Let's just
defensive
say, for those who
play.
are just joining us, hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on those notifications. If you have been with us for a while, hit that like, hit that subscribe, keep the comments coming, guys. We love it. We're going on about 2 hours here. It's been a while since we've been on this long.
Hasn't felt it, though.
Hasn't felt it.
No, in
But-
both games are tied in the third period.
God, why
Does
does
it
it
get
always
any more-
have to be this way?
Does-
I love
does it get
hockey
any
and I
more white
hate hockey
knuckles
at
than
the
this?
same time.
Canadians have a breakaway. Oh,
Nah.
save.
All right. But
All right,
yes,
so it looks
like
like
you
we
were
got the-
saying, Bri, thank you very much to everybody out there who's been chiming in on the show. Everybody who's new, everybody who's regular, thank you very, very much. We do appreciate everything you guys are doing for us tonight. If you're hitting that like, you're hitting that subscribe, you're hitting that bell, thank you very, very much. Just thank you in general. You guys
Yep.
are the lifeblood. I say it all the time because I mean it. You guys are the lifeblood here.
We got the Daniel Sprong goal here. Y'all ready for this?
All right.
You're gonna get
I
sick
see
of
what
it.
you
sure I
did
do.
there, by the way,
Guys.
Bri.
This goal is gonna get you sick.
That's what I do, brother.
You
Here
know.
we go.
Always a giveaway,
play.
right?
Yeah.
Look where he's
Always.
from, though.
Good pressure there from Detroit, though.
Oh,
Oh, that is
Ooh.
ugly. Woo. Ooh, that's a bad one.
Ooh, I gotta see how that passing get intercepted there.
That
Tipped or
is
something.
That was from an impossible angle. And it
So
beat him
what
to
do
the
you think
short
is
side.
softer, that goal or the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man?
I don't know which goal was worse, that one or the second one.
Whew.
Here's a better view.
Are you kidding me with that goal?
That's a terrible goal to give up. Good Lord, that's bad.
You know he wants that one back.
Oh, yeah, that's going to haunt him.
Between that, so which one do you think was worse, guys? The third one or the second one?
Well, third one by far.
You
Because that
think?
looked like that he was just trying to shoot for a rebound on there, and it just found its way in.
That's
I
why
thought
you
he was
always
just-
shoot
I
at the
thought he was
bad
trying to
angle because you
yeah,
never
he's
know.
trying to pass it to the guy in front of the net. I thought, but well, you can't take your foot away from the post in that situation. You got to hug the
Good
post.
fight. Flyers won that battle along the boards and centered. Ah, another good defensive play from the Capitals. Flyers have had some good defensive plays too in their own zone.
If Konechny could have lifted that one shot that he had, that
I know. That's such a that one right there is going to be a haunting one.
the Red Wings coach looks like he's going to vomit right now. He's so upset. He just showed a close up of him. And he's scratching his nose, and he literally looks like he's green.
Well, we got Jeff in the chat here. I got to ask him a question because you know what? I'm curious. How do you like this team now without Jeff Blashill behind the bench? Because if you're asking me, I think it's a vast improvement from since he's been relieved of his duties a couple years ago. Was what everybody telling me I owe him something?
Apparently, you owe Priz a Coke, and you owe Chicky and Pete's crab fries to me and Metal Mike, so you got to pay up.
I don't know how he's going to get them. I never go to Chickies and Pete's. The Coke, though, I'll just, Priz, you pick it up and I'll just Venmo you, bro.
Isn't Chicky and Pete's where Champs used to be?
Oh,
I don't know about that. Actually, I don't know.
big face off here. Got the
Yeah,
guy to
face
do it
off
too.
good. Oh, Flyers.
Yeah.
If only they had just had somebody there. Unfortunately, they were trying to get more guys onto the shooting side.
I will say though, I do love me some, and sorry if I'm going to say this, but I do love me some Chickies and Pete's crab fries. They are, especially with the cheese sauce. Ugh.
That's why you owe Priz, because you guys we said third by far at the same time.
Oh. Yeah. All right. I'll take that one.
Let's see here. Washington lost control over it. The Flyers got it back, but the Flyers just they tried to spring that out. And come on. All right, they're just going to reset. Take your time. You're tied. Remember that. I know you still got time. It's not like you're down to the last 2 minutes.
Yeah. Reset. Get some changes. Some fresh legs out there.
Right. And they do, and that board battle, they do get it. Come on. Got us hopefully find, okay, they're going to put back to the point. Come on, boys.
Tell you what, if they get a power play, that's the time to pull the goalie.
That would be, that's a gamble, but I like it because it is that time of the year. You got to pull out all the stops. You got to roll them
That's the
dice.
time. If they happen to get one, and you know Washington knows that, they're going to do that too. So they better be careful.
Right.
Because that's 6-on-4 is very hard to defend.
It is.
It is because you can put two guys in front of the net the whole time.
Right.
And then just have the other guys play 4-on-4. I mean, it's impossible to defend.
And Oshie fanned on his shot, went to the corner. Flyers trying to get it. And unfortunately, they rattled it around the boards and turned it over. And the puck went out of play. Okay. The intensity has jumped up by, I think, about a good 10 to 20 on the scale here for this third period. Jeff saying Lalonde is a definite improvement from Blashill. The Kane signing was the main catalyst, I think.
And I totally agree with that. Adding Kane just absolutely ups that for damn sure. But I actually just replied to his comment, so hopefully he sees that.
Perfect timing. Tim saying, let's go Montreal.
That's right, Tim.
Everybody.
Pris saying, I don't have Venmo. Do you have carrier pigeons?
No, but I have mourning doves outside of my window, so I could probably steal one of those and attach it to that. I can't promise it's going to get to you though. So
Detroit gets a point in this game. Does that knocks the Flyers out, right?
Detroit has to lose in regulation.
Yeah,
Right. They cannot get a point.
I wonder if Montreal would have the balls to pull the goalie and try to beat him in regulation.
Probably not. They really have nothing to gain from it.
I don't think Montreal would do that. There's no point for them to do that.
Why not?
Do they have Venmo? Because maybe I could help them out.
Be careful
like
of that
that.
exchange rate there, Rob.
Yeah,
I'll just steal 60 mil from Otani and forward it over to the Habs.
Hey, you just gotta find his trainer, man. He's got you.
The way these teams play, these two teams play defense, I don't think either one of them needs needs to pull a goalie to score. I can't believe Reimer is playing so well tonight. I can't believe how bad that Primo is tonight.
I mean, Reimer's been playing pretty well all season. I mean, he got hurt, which didn't help anything. But when he got back, he was fine.
Yeah, I guess I just, you know what? I can't forget how he blew that series against Boston.
I mean, yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
I can't say that Reimer hasn't had his human moments. He definitely has.
Yeah. He just made a hell of a save with 3 Canadians in front of the net. I don't know how the hell he saw that shot. They just showed it from a shot from behind the goal. You know, the end zone shot. I don't know how he saw that shot.
Got to
Couldn't
take it
get
a
that
little
through
further
traffic.
than that. Come on. Got to take it a little further than that. There you go,
Flyers
Penny.
man. The problem is they get these rebounds, but there is nobody there to tap it home. That's what's really frustrating. They would have had at least a couple goals by now if they were there for them.
My big thing for them right now is they're not getting close enough for any of these shots to really be dangerous. Haley's probably had the most dangerous ones this period at least on that little rush there. But I mean, you got the big boys out now.
How much time?
12 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yep. Let's see here. Pass back behind the net. That one goes just to the sideboards. Flyers do not get control over it. Washington has it. And Flyers got it. There we go. Okay, so they get the turnover. They move up. Shot from Konechny, but it is deflected off.
That's what I mean. Like, you got to figure out a way to get... Ooh.
Konechny, do not. I know you got a temper, but let it go. Let it go.
They got to get in. They got to make, like, if you got a body in front, okay, take that shot there from the top of the circle. But right now, when you're one-on-one, you got to try and see if you can get closer, or at least take the puck in deep and try and do something with it.
Right. Meemail Mike says, by the way, just put a dancing monkey in the net. And he also says Chara trade was the dumbest. And Mimo says, I don't have Venmo. What about New York City subway?
Metro card. 13 minutes left to go. 1-1, boys. I mean, like, talk about gaming up at a key game. I mean, again, this just shows the Flyers stepping up to another level because the Caps want to close this out as much as they do.
Absolutely. Erson's just going to hold on to that as he should. And Pete saying, I disagree to the poll. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Pete.
He also says, young team and the Hart fiasco put a lot of stress on the team. That definitely did not help anything.
Yeah, they had to deal with a lot of off-ice drama, unfortunately, this year, and I think they're doing a great job at making sure that they, handle it pretty well. And I think, for the most part, they have.
All right, so Coots is up to 5-11 on his faceoffs tonight, and he did win that one.
Back to 50%.
All right, then. And the Flyers, unfortunately, though, turn the puck over in their zone. Oh, that shot bounced off of one of the Flyers defensemen. They do clear it, though. Bit of a race, but there's not going to be icing. Oh, she's got it. And Oh boy. Flyers in the corner. Oh, she shot it around the boards. Caps got it at the point. Shot it right through. Ovi's got it now. Luckily not in his office.
Good news.
Out there.
I got good news for you.
Oh, please tell us.
The Canadians have just made it a 4-3 hockey game.
Okay,
Woohoo!
Good stuff, Habs. Good stuff.
News in Montreal.
Yeah, who scored?
Burakovsky?
Burkowski. Okay.
I think I got to make sure I'm right. No, I'm sorry. Starts with an S. Something.
Oh, Slavkovsky.
Slavkovsky. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yura Slavkovsky. He is a absolute.
Wow. That was a
stud.
Kreider. That was a Kreider goal.
Hey,
He's standing in front of the net, and the Red Wing guy was behind him and not fronting him, and he deflected it.
good job by the Flyers to keep that squared away.
Well, it's right there for
They
you
get the
guys now.
clear. All right, it's out of play, deflected though, so it is not going to be.
It's
Any
right
penalty.
there, Maddie. It's right there.
I know.
It's right there. You'll
Jeff's
have the goal in a minute. It was a beautiful deflection.
Yep, I just saw it.
Ryman
Nice.
had no chance. No chance on that.
So Jeff's saying, I think there's no way you don't re-sign him, even though that's no Stevie Y's MO typically, especially with some of the older powers getting long in the tooth. Now's the time.
He's referring to my question about whether or not they actually re-signed Patrick Kane this offseason.
Tommy's saying, "Come on, boys! Yeah, I know. We gotta make this happen."
All the talent this team, the Detroit Red Wings have, that they're in a situation like this, that is unbelievable.
They've had a hard time finding the consistency in the regular season. It's been killing them.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no excuse. They can't use the rebuild excuse. Oh no.
No, I'll give you credit because it's been the last few seasons.
No, they can't. Yeah, they can't use that. They can't use that anymore. They got a guy like Lucas Raymond on the team. Come on.
Oh, big giveaway by Sanheim.
That was a terrible giveaway. Oshie's luckily not alone.
Oh, good way to body up there, York.
Nice
That's
play.
What I'm
Nice
talking
play
about.
by York. Luckily, he was there to stop Oshie. That shot went way wide, looking for a deflection. Luckily, nobody was there. And the Flyers having trouble getting this out of their zone.
So there's 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in Montreal.
There's 9:36 left here in the third. Puck goes out of play. Shot that was from former Flyer Knack went out of play there.
We're going to get a commercial there. So.
Yeah. And let's see. Memel might say Montreal doesn't have consistent goaltending.
Well, that's Detroit's problem too right now. It's they need to get their goaltender up here. I'm telling you, Casa is going to be. He's the guy. He's the guy. He was very, 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 very highly touted when they drafted him a couple years ago. Him and Jesper Wallstedt were the top two. Ow, my elbow.
And Jeff says goaltender issue, so he's confirming that. Chris also says when you bring in Kane and DeBrincat, it's win now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Pope, I do believe you have the clip. Guess it's time to show that bad boy.
Watch this deflection, boys. It's a beauty.
And
nice moves by whoever that is, just sitting at the blue line.
He's just been. I like the patience. He's just waiting. And perfect time.
Yep.
He's so good.
Really well played goal there from the Montreal Canadiens there.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the skating here at the blue line is really what really set that play up. The patience, allowing Slavkovsky to get there, get centered, and really cut the goaltender's vision off there. Really is what helped that. And then obviously, getting a touch on it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Yeah, he made a nice play. They need to give you the other angle from behind the net. They had the angle. He had a stick in front of him. His back was to the net, and he had a stick in front of him, and hit the puck when it was in front of him, or I should say behind him. and he deflected it like that, which makes it even harder because he's using himself as a screen.
So, yeah, so it was Hudson on that one. Coots did win that faceoff, so good. And puck was sent back through center ice, but the Caps pushed it back into the Flyer zone. And the Flyers, that's you gotta keep control over the puck here at the blue line. You cannot just allow the Caps to get it right back. And
Sanheim can't get it settled there.
I know that's just they got it. I know it's tough in this situation, but you got to calm down a minute. And the Caps take a shot. That one takes a weird hop, but goes wide.
This is where they need a veteran leader to come up and score.
I mean, Coots is winning faceoffs, so that's definitely helping the situation a little bit. But the problem is
Konechny needs to take over now.
Right, they need to get something here.
He's the one guy that can do it, and he's got to do it now.
Right, because the Caps are keeping the Flyers a little hemmed in the zone here. Flyers having a hard time getting this cleared.
They're a good defensive team, guys.
And the Caps push the puck along the boards. Flyers do get it. Shove it up through center, but nobody can control it. Broken stick. And Flyers do send that along. And that's going to be icing. Yes, that is icing. Ooh, so they gotta figure out a way to penetrate into the Capital zone here. They're having a real hard time doing that right now here in the third period. How'd that stick break, actually? Ooh, that was a slash. Ooh, okay, Drysdale got real lucky there. Oh, bad time to lose a face-off. Luckily, nothing came of that. Caps still have it, though. And Flyers finally get it out. Okay, Flyers are finally pushing through. Konechny's got it. Oh, he's getting checked hard by Oshie. And he can't keep it because he's getting doubled up. And the Caps send that through center. Flyers can't get control over it in their own zone. That's not good. They're in the corner. And come on, Flyers do come up with it. They needed to win that battle. The Caps bat it down. Right back into the Flyer zone we go. Luckily, nothing came of that.
It's being a long shift here, being penned
It
up.
is. This is not good. Oh, what a save by Urson. Oh, what a save by Urson.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Caps are just extending their arms, and they're just getting that puck batted down.
Detroit is about ready to pull their goalie, guys.
Oh, boy. Crunch time out there.
Less than 3 minutes to go.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
And that one lost. Flyers still trying to battle for this in the center ice. Where the puck goes? Okay, it went backwards. Smart move by Coots. He didn't like the situation, so he put it back. And that's a nothing shot. That's an easy save for Lindgren right there by Zamula. That's all right. You get a face-off in the offensive zone.
And a breath.
Right. Oh, wow, what a save by Urson. That was a nasty shot. That was by Wilson. Oh. And it's also lucky that I don't know who was taking the swap at there from Washington, but that was close.
What a play by Sanheim there to kind of deny that rebound.
Right, because that was a nice rebound right there. Who had the opportunity at that on the Capital side? It was number 21.
Protus.
That's the second time Protus has had a golden opportunity.
Still time to vote on tonight's poll. The Flyer season will be a failure if they miss the playoffs. Right now, it's 55-45 still with a great.
Okay. And Caps are up at the point. Oh, that's not good. Whew. Okay,
148
Urson's
to go,
bench.
guys. Face off in the Canadian zone, and the Red Wings have pulled the goalie.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
boy.
Well, how much time's left?
148.
148. Oh boy.
They are in the Red Wings are on life support right now.
Dowd frustrated as he goes to the Caps bench. That was a deflection, and what a save by Urson through traffic. He didn't even see it after he made the save. It literally bounced off of Urson, and he just got lucky on that save, and then he just covered it up after he saw it. When he saw it, it's like, oh crap, it's in front of me.
The Red Wings coaching staff right now, if they just show them, they look like if they lose,
Ooh.
they're not even going to bother taking the plane back.
they'll walk back to Detroit. Yeah, let's see here. Flyers do have it in the offensive zone. Jeff said, so am I. And there's a chance. Oh, man, right in front of the net. Flyers could not tap it home. There was a good chance there. Puck goes back behind the Capitals net. By the way, this is what I do when I get nervous. You should see me in playoff games. I'll do really crappy play-by-play.
I'm enjoying it, brother.
Job.
Like I said, I don't have access right now, so.
Detroit is
this?
all over them right now.
I mean, it's
1
all or
minute
nothing
to
now
go.
for Detroit. The Flyers got it. Okay, they pushed it
Terrific save
forward
by the goalie.
by Primo.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Close call right there, Zamula.
Yeah, he holds
He's
on.
got it.
53 seconds to go. Face off deep in Canadian.
Coots sends it in, and unfortunately snared by Lindgren.
It's all right, shots on goal. Anything can happen.
Right. All right, let's hopefully get this win in the face-off zone. Offensive zone.
Boy, I'll tell you what. If the Red Wings hold on, if the Canadians hold on, and the Flyers pull this one out, that place will go nuts.
Oh my God, they will lose their minds.
Yeah.
Me Metal Mike saying Flyers just can't afford to give up the puck in their zone. That is true.
Yeah.
What's up, Wills?
But hey, they've been doing a good job at not doing that and winning the turnover giveaway battle. So I mean, now is the time you need to.
The Flyers have
Third
got to
period.
find a way they've got to find a way to score. I mean, jeez.
They
The
do.
Red Wings are about to lose this game. They got 53 seconds to score, or they can kiss their season goodbye.
I know. This is such a huge moment for both teams, actually.
Yep.
And the Flyers, they do need to score here. They have to get a goal here. They have to win in regulation.
Yep.
That's the key. So right now, still waiting for the game to come back.
Detroit called their timeout, and now they got the
Smart.
big boys out: DeBrincat, Larkin, and Kane.
Oof.
Jeff saying, I've got one more heart attack left in me here. Me Metal like saying, who's that goaltender in the AHL that does YouTube? That's the next big thing for Brian and the Lavelle Rockets. Not sure.
What? I heard my name.
He's saying, who does the YouTube stuff for the Lavelle Rockets as a goalie in the AHL?
Oh, they got it
yeah.
out. Oh, they missed the net.
I'm
Icing.
not sure who that is.
Montreal, yeah.
Montreal
Montreal
just
almost
iced
got
it.
the empty net, but they
Montreal
did
just
not.
iced it. 36 seconds to go.
So I got the standings here.
I think were the Flyers complaining about too many men on the ice there?
Possibly.
Well,
So
I mean, the
here's-
refs have. Drysdale got away with a slash 5 minutes ago, so you know what? It is what it is.
So here's the standing. So obviously what we need is Washington to lose. We'll take the tiebreaker on Washington. Detroit
Wings will lose.
loses. I'm pretty sure that they may. Do they have the tiebreaker on the Flyers?
I thought the
I don't-
Flyers had the
Oh.
tiebreaker on them.
Flyers are the tiebreaker on Detroit.
They do?
Oh my
Okay.
God, it's a 2-on-1.
30-27.
Oh my God, no. Oh, what a great return
Good
from
defensive play.
Ooh, great defensive play to get back there off of that 2-on-1. That was terrifying.
And then obviously if Pittsburgh loses tomorrow night, they're done.
Oh, and that one was just saved by Lindgren, but that was a good shot from Konechny.
Yeah, I mean, to the Flyers' favor, having 30 regulation wins, that's the only reason why they're still in this.
7.7 seconds to go in the Detroit Red Wings season.
Jesus.
Another icing face-off deep in the Canadian end. And
Good
there's
Lord.
a lot of pushing and shoving right now. Yeah, Detroit's not real happy that they are choking big time to the lowly Canadians.
Looks like it was a bad week for me to quit smoking.
4:13 left. Greg's saying, come on, boys, let's get this. That puck goes out of play, so we'll have another face-off.
And it's like I keep saying, these teams are sitting at the bottom. They may be the lonely teams, but they are the most dangerous teams in the league at this time of year.
They are. They are.
They know they can ruin it.
Oh, my God. You're not going to believe this, guys.
Detroit just scored?
Detroit just scored.
3 seconds to go.
God damn it. That just changed everything.
Nope, that just eliminated the Flyers because that means they're going to overtime.
Damn.
3 seconds? You gotta be kidding me.
3 seconds to go. They won the face-off and took a shot from the point.
Unfortunately, that takes care of that. Oh, man. What a very unceremonious way for this game to now mean absolutely nothing to the Flyers. Man.
Primo should have had that one too.
God.
That's a shit goal. It's not like it was deflected. Come on.
Watch the Flyers score here too. Oh, man.
Listen, great season for them though. Like I know a lot of people are gonna not be happy with the obviously how things ended, but I mean, all in all, like overall, look at the season. It's been a really strong season for the Flyers. They have nothing to hang their head about. They just
they're going to overtime now. So
that is official. The Flyers are officially eliminated from playoff contention now that the Red Wings have gained a point in the standings. Jeff, congratulations to you and to Don, who is not here.
For
his Red Wings and your Red Wings, Jeff, for making the playoffs. Well, no, that's not guaranteed here. The Capitals still have a shot here.
As well as the Penguins, too.
As the Penguins as well, yeah. And the Caps just got the empty netter from Oshie. So really, it is definitely done now.
Oh, the Flyers pulled the goalie?
Yeah, it pulled. Yep. And Oshie got the empty netter.
Scored.
So it all comes tumbling down right then and there. The House of Cards is officially blown over.
Okay, it was still a hell of a season for this team.
Which means the Detroit game means nothing now.
At the moment.
Well, okay, if the Flyers do manage to win this game, then it will mean something. But if the Caps secure this, they should have the final spot in the playoffs. Well, actually, not true, because they'll have to
win. They win and
no, it's true. They win and they're in.
No, they win and they're in. It doesn't matter. They got the tiebreakers.
Oh, it doesn't matter what happens with Pittsburgh? Oh, okay. Nope. All right.
Nope, they're a point ahead of Pittsburgh.
So right now the Flyers are playing spoilers. So sorry, Jeff. I take that congratulations back, brother. I jumped the gun on there. I apologize.
The Canadians couldn't stop them in the final 3.5 seconds.
It's the Montreal Canadiens. Pris was saying all day, don't buy it, and he was right.
Yeah, but 3.4 seconds or 3.
It's
no, actually,
Montreal. They don't have solid goaltending. I mean, give Primo credit. Kid's still learning. So it's not exactly like he's, a longtime veteran that is just shit in the net. He's still young.
I mean, that was...
It's a bad goal. I'm not saying it's not a bad goal.
Got all that.
Yeah.
I think it was Mo Sider who got the goal. But he teed it up.
David Perron, I believe, is getting credit.
Yeah, David Perron. Oh, so maybe there's probably deflection then.
We'll see.
So
it didn't look like he deflected it, but
So with the Red Wings scoring, they're hoping that the Flyers can get this win here to keep the Caps baited here. The Flyers cannot clinch no matter what, so Flyer season is going to be over after this game tonight. So, whew, what a very unceremonious way for this to end. Very unceremonious.
We got the goal up here ready to go, Maddie. So let's check this out.
Yeah,
here.
I might as well
The
take a look
tying
and
goal.
see this.
Tying goal from Detroit.
They had to get back on sides too. Wow.
Oh, this was the icing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Montreal was very, very close to seeing that through.
Yeah.
The Flyers, if they
So
won this
did
game
they
in
post
regulation,
that, not the goal?
Well, looks like they posted that, not the goal.
interesting.
Oops. Sorry,
Stupid
boys.
Twitter. Dumb Twitter.
They show the Canadians missing an open net.
Wow.
Oh,
Probably.
Jeff saying calling a big cat goal to send it home.
Showtime.
Well, you know what? This is
I'm
what happens
calling
when you don't control your own destiny and you have to have other things happen for you. But
Yep.
I mean,
They had plenty.
again, it'll be a lesson. It'll be
Right.
a lesson.
Right? Because you
It's
got no one but
experience.
yourselves to blame. If you had won at least half of those 8 games, you'd be in much better shape than you are now.
if
Not
those
perfect, but be a hell of a lot better.
If those 5 losses, if you would have won 2 of those 5 games, if you would have just beaten the Blackhawks and the Senators, 2 of the
I know.
worst teams in hockey. For God's
This
sake.
is why it is so important to beat teams that are bottom feeders.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
win those games because
Had to-
those are
Yeah.
technically free points. You're just leaving on the table right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And while it's disappointing because you always just want to see your team get in, you know what I mean? And it doesn't go your way, it doesn't go your way. But I mean, just for me, after tonight, it doesn't really tarnish what this team's accomplished this season.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, Robbie, because they've overcome
gave it
so
all.
much.
It is
You know,
what
I
it
think
is.
The front office could have helped them out a little bit.
It is what it is. They were trusting in Sam Urson. They banked heavy on him. That may have been a mistake. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes they made.
No.
I'm not saying that Sam Urson's a terrible player. I'm not saying that. But he was a little worn
needed
out.
help.
By the time we get to that 8-game skid, he wasn't exactly playing all that well. And
That
the
I
team
agree
in
with.
general wasn't playing well either.
That
So
I
there was a
agree
lot
with.
to throw at him.
just needed- he just needed help.
It was a lot to ask of him to say, hey, can you be our starter? Because we don't have a third string that's reliable in Peterson or Sandstrom. And that's a lot to ask for a guy who was originally going to come in on a tandem. And
Yeah,
it
I
is
totally
what it is
agree.
on that. And the rest of the team did not help the situation. The Flyers were not finding goals. They lost their confidence. They clearly looked shook by all the losses they were taking.
Their
And
blue
it seemed
line
like
was
they were
severely injured.
severely injured on top of it. The adversity came and they did not handle it well. They did not handle the adversity as well as they should have.
Guys,
But like
they
you
just weren't-
said,
they
it
weren't
is a
deep
lesson to be learned, Rob. And I do remember you were saying about that.
They were just not deep enough. Period.
Yeah. And the roster will get deeper. You know what I mean? Like I said, and they're going to carry this forward to where you got to take care of business. You got to take care of business against the lower brow teams. If you want to take that next step, and that's what this team's going to be looking to do in 2024-25 now.
They need to sign a sniper. I mean, after tonight, you see how much they need that sniper.
Yeah.
If Florida doesn't sign Sam Reinhart, you guys have got to try to get him.
Flyers aren't going to have.
I don't want
want
to hear any excuses. That's your guy. That's the net friend presence guy. He scored 50 goals this year. That's the guy that brings you into the playoffs and makes you a contender.
Yeah, but they're not going to have enough money to sign him. He's going to want 9.5, maybe even 10 after
Right.
the year that
How
he's
much
had.
are you gonna? You're gonna have at least 3 for sure because the cap is going up next year by $3 million.
I will put him at 7.
That put
8?
him at 7.
But let's plant that seed and grow at home. You
Well,
know
how
what I
about
mean?
getting
Have a
rid of
sniper
Briscoe?
come from the ranks.
How about
Yes, Rob. I agree with you on that. I think
how
they
about
need to
buying out?
homegrown
How
one.
about buying out Risto?
I still don't like the idea of buying out Risso because he'd be on the books for the next 10 years.
Yeah, but then you could sign Reinhardt.
Reinhardt's not going to be the answer.
You don't think so?
No. This team needs to find some homegrown talent and a homegrown sniper.
But they could still grow. They could still have homegrown talent, but you still need a sniper.
And so
I'm not
time
bringing in
is ticking
Reinhardt
away.
for 9.5.
Net was
$10 million a year on a
emptied
rebuilding
again.
team.
Capitals just iced it, about 30 seconds left to go here. Morris Longo saying, at least they could say the Flyers eliminated the Penguins from making the playoffs.
Yep.
Email Mike saying, we're taking Pittsburgh with us, missed the playoffs.
That's right. Let's go.
That's true.
Right, if we're going down, we're taking freaking Crosby and the Pens with us, damn it.
That's got to be the meme that we post on our social medias.
Yes.
You gotta win.
As JM saying, by the way, what up, fam? All in all, it was a good season. If you consider expectations, this year could pay dividends considering their young nucleus played meaningful hockey until their last game.
Yeah. And what that's also going to do is, and this is going to build off of what Brad was saying. I don't agree on the player, but I do agree. It's going to allow once free agents start seeing, hey, this team is going to be relevant again. It's going to allow some free agents to say, hey, let's go to Philly. They got a good young team here. They're just coming out of a rebuild. Even though they just went into it, they're starting to compete already. Like it's going to attract talent. It's going to attract guys who are going to be big name free agents, and it could pull somebody in for a reasonable price, just not $9.5 million a year, which is what Sam Reinhardt's going to want.
Or the goalie on what do you call it? The Predators.
Me Metal Mike saying top 12 draft picks helps the draft odds.
No, Flyers need to stick with what they have goaltender wise. They just have to keep doing what they're doing.
You sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that.
Okay.
You have 4 goalies. You have 3 that are in the pipeline that are 2 are almost ready to go. And then you have 1 who just signed his ELC who's playing pretty well where he is. Okay. You don't want to clog it up by bringing in any kind of veteran.
You have to make sure that one of them is ready to carry the load.
Right, and the Flyers are in a position right now where they can actually afford to do that. They're not a Stanley Cup contender yet. They don't have to go out and sign a goalie. They can let their goaltenders develop.
And it is officially officially over. The Washington Capitals have clinched the second wild card spot. So I apologize, Jeff and Don. I spoke too soon.
Don't feel bad. The Rangers will take care of them for you guys.
Yeah. So it will be a matchup of old rivals meeting each other. It'll be the Rangers and the Capitals for the 40 millionth time in the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Right.
You guys did face each other a lot back in the 2010s, and
yeah. Well, they used to beat us, and then we turned things around on them.
Right.
They
Although
beat
to
us
be
in the
fair,
80s, we beat them in the 90s, and then they beat us in the 2010s, or rather in the 2000s, and then we beat them in the 2010s.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it was actually kind of even because I think the Caps blew like several series leads against you guys. Like I think they had a 3-1 series lead one time on the Rangers, and they blew it, and the Rangers won that series twice.
They did it twice, and the Penguins did it twice.
Right.
The Rangers have won 4 series when down 3-1.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not wasting any free agency money on a goaltender that's going to help block developing talent. The goalie's situation right now is already clogged up as it is. You can't add more to it.
Okay.
So
let me ask you this though. When the Rangers were rebuilding, okay, did they not improve their team when they brought in Panarin?
I'm not saying that they didn't, and I'm not saying not to add talent. I'm saying don't add a goaltender.
Okay, but you don't want to add what's his name, Reinhardt either.
Just because he's going to cost $9.5 to $10 million that the Flyers don't have.
Well, you could if you're able to trade somebody, maybe. Maybe you can. Maybe you could trade somebody and pick up some more draft picks. And they're bringing Reinhardt.
Reinhardt is probably not going to leave Florida.
He may not.
They're
I mean,
going to pay him more.
Well, even if they don't pay
not
him
tax
more,
money, he'd be dumb
Yeah.
to leave Florida.
yeah, I was going to say, even if they didn't pay him more, he'd make more because of the tax laws.
Yeah.
So that's the one advantage he has.
So SJM, by the way, saying, I've said it many times over, as far as Philly sports, the Flyers I'm the least plugged into. However, anyone who agrees to the poll is out of their mind. Flyers were hot garbage last year. And then he also goes on to say the organization has the right GM in Briere and the coach in Tortorella. Patience is key. If any of our city's hockey purists want to see a long, sustained era of excellence.
I agree. I agree with that 100%.
Well
You
said.
got to let these goalies develop.
And Jeff said, left a lot of points on the table. Hell of a way to go, but it is what it is. Same here, brother.
Mhm.
Same here. Left way too many points on the table, and that's what cost us in the long run. Priz saying Lawton is a trade option in the offseason, weak center pool in free agency.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
Priz to suggest that. Oh my goodness.
I know, right? Maybe it's because he's trying to get him to Chicago. I think that's what
Oh,
it
it's
is.
the right. Yeah. Now the truth comes out. Yeah.
I mean, I will say this. He was saying the same thing to me at the trade deadline in our little group chat there before he went MIA. But he was saying the same thing to me, like trade Lawton in the offseason, trade Lawton in the offseason.
Me, my wife says, Trace Lawton, draft the top center in the draft.
This draft isn't going to be that great, though. Next year, next year's draft is going to be really good.
From what I heard, though, it's okay. It's not.
No, it's
not like last year.
It's essentially like the Nico Hersher, Jack Hughes draft. You have really good top 5 talent. After that, the talent level just it drops off pretty massively.
It's a little sparse. Priz saying, I was never against trading him in the offseason. And he also says
Right,
top
that's what
5
I'm
is
saying.
good. And Jeff said, got to sign off. Pleasure to shoot the ish with you fellas. Pleasure as well, Jeff. Hey, stick around with us, man. If you want to, we're going to be here for the playoffs. We're going to be here for the offseason, man. We'll be plenty of time to talk about your Red Wings, our Flyers, Brad's Rangers. There's plenty of time to talk that stuff, brother.
And by the way, the Red Wings won in a shootout.
Okay. Not that it really mattered, but
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
And Priz, by the way, says, damn it, Brian, 2 Cokes.
$15 out of my pocket. God damn it.
I was about to ask a dumb question. I'm glad you interrupted me, Matt, as you should have. Yeah.
You want to take a gander at who scored the winning goal in the shootout for the Red Wings?
Was it Jeff Blashill?
I'll give you a very good educated guess.
Patrick Kane.
There you go.
Oh, Jeff called it.
And that's why I think he's laughing.
Jeff called it.
The
The reason why they call him Showtime.
Yep.
And Priz says it best, fucking Montreal. That's why they haven't won anything since 93. They can't finish. Anyway, SJM.
They're such a bad third period team, too.
Right. SJM said Brad loves the Rangers analogy, which I understand as I know he's a New York guy. But as The Rock said recently, I've never seen a larger fan base of trailer park trash. Just having fun. It's all envy.
Hey, listen, you haven't been to Ottawa then.
The funniest part about that comment is the fact and I know Brad, you don't watch it.
You notice I'm not denying it.
It's funny because when they were just in Philly, that's what The Rock called the entire Philadelphia fan base.
He did.
Really
That
good.
was hilarious.
Cool.
He called everybody trailer park trash.
Oh God.
But what was
I'm sure that really hurt their feelings.
No, he's playing a role. He was playing a heel.
Yeah.
the fans in Philadelphia have been called far worse.
Yeah,
But,
I was gonna say that's mild.
Right.
That's like calling your Ranger fans trailer. We consider that a compliment. We know what we are.
Right, you've upgraded us to trailer park.
Yeah, we still call we still yell chant Poppin sucks, and he retired 50 years ago.
I'm a
It's
little
him
upset
saying
this is
that
gonna be
was
my last night with
embarrassing.
Asplin.
Yeah, I mean they were chanting that in the last minute of the game yesterday as they were celebrating winning a President's Trophy, and they're chanting Poppin sucks. Gotta love it.
Chris
As I said,
saying,
I didn't deny it, did I?
right. Chris saying, think about Buffalo getting slammed through a table is the least embarrassing thing about their city, sports-wise.
All right, so we got about 8 minutes left here, boys. So
right.
let's touch on the final subject of the night. Since the season's over, there's really not a whole lot more to talk about, and we'll probably do
Cutter.
a review. Cutter Gauthier signing his ELC, making his NHL debut Thursday night for Anaheim. I know a lot of people wish his kid a lot of horrible things, but
Wish him the worst of luck.
I was gonna say, what's your boys' thoughts on this?
Good luck. Good luck out there.
He'll probably do great. He'll have no pressure on him because Anaheim is right now is in full rebuild. They're a very deep rebuild. So he'll probably do pretty well because there won't be any pressure on him.
But all I have to say is good luck.
Yeah, but when you come to, I would say this, Cutter, when you come to Philly, make sure you wear that suit of armor underneath the jersey.
Yeah. And however badly you think Sidney Crosby has been treated throughout his career against the Flyers, I think Gauthier is going to have it twice as worse.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna definitely be twice. Because we only see him once a year.
He's going to get the full Eric Lindros treatment when Eric Lindros went to Quebec.
Yeah.
The first time went to Quebec and everybody dressed up with the with bibs and those little baby things in their heads.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I'm going to say this right now.
You remember that?
Yeah, but I'm
hilarious.
I'm going to say this, though. Like, I feel like the Quebec fans shouldn't get mad at Lindros. They should get mad at their team because he had said to them prior, like, yo, I'm not going to play on your team.
Yeah, but
so don't draft me. Yet they were still dumb enough to draft him. I'm like,
oh no, they had to draft him because they could get 5 guys back.
Yeah,
and they did rob him, man. They got Peter Forsberg for him.
I mean, they did. But then, here's the funny part. All the Quebec fans complained about that. They should have been more worried about their ownership because they're about to sell their asses off to Denver.
Yeah, that was the real sin because I'll tell you what, that Quebec team was loaded and they were good. They took a really good hockey team and left that city, and that city supported them. I don't get that at all, but whatever.
Pris said, I hope he gets a splinter and cries on camera. And then let's see here. SJM said, Brad, I was in Montreal 3 years ago, this Flyers game and a strip club courtesy of Buddy's bachelor party. I was shocked. Those Canadians love them some Molson and Gloucester. Gloucester City-esque women.
Nice. That was fun. That sounds like a fun time.
And he did go on to say Montreal was fun, but complete one-off. I'll never go back. I hope the Canadians never win anything ever again.
And they probably won't.
I went up to Montreal for a bachelor weekend. I went up to Montreal, and man, that was crazy. That was a crazy weekend.
Do you remember anything about it?
Oh, yeah. Well,
okay. I was just wondering because sometimes you have fun and you don't remember.
All right, so to wrap this thing up too, so obviously, I'm excited for Cutter. I can't wait to see him out on the ice. I think it's kind of silly he's only going to be there for one game, but it's a little tasty NHL action. Get a little preview of what's to come down the road. But Rob, we're going to get to your clip here. So real quick, just to set it up, this is basically going to be, I feel like, how we all feel as Flyers fans right now about how you should feel about this Flyers. I'm not going to sit there and say that you're going to, but this is how you should feel. So we all queued up here, bud?
Yep, we're all queued up. This was actually the pregame presser, but it's going to prove pretty prophetic here.
Absolutely. All right, so here we go.
Always going to be games at the end of a season you look back on and you say, well, we could have won that one, we could have won that one. But the one thing you did...
Oops.
Damn
YouTube. Hold on. Stop sharing it for a second.
Come on, YouTube.
We just need one last thing from you. It's all we needed.
Refresh.
Enhance.
Enhance. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah. All right, you ready? Let's try this again.
All right.
That one, we could have won that one. But guess you're always going to have regrets about it.
Absolutely.
But conceptually, on the whole, do you think these guys can keep their heads held high?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And no matter what anybody says, if we don't succeed in getting in, absolutely. And I'll make sure they understand that. They already know my feelings about that as far as what this team's about. I'm proud of them, no matter what happens tonight. I'm excited about how they handle themselves. I'm excited about some of the growth. Excited about hopefully getting an opportunity, but if not, where we go in the future. So no matter what the result is tonight, that's not going to change in my mind.
Maddie?
That was weird. I didn't even click myself off.
I was going to say, I turned a clip off and you were gone. I'm like, what the hell? But no, I think the sentiment is said very well by Torts there. And you know what? It should be held by every Flyers fan right now. There's nothing to hang your head about. This was a great season for this team. I think there's definitely a lot to be excited about. A lot of growth this year, especially from my dude, Cam York. Morris, I agree. Obviously, you got to improve the power play next year. And I think that will definitely happen with some of these guys continue to develop. And guys like Tyson Forster, I think it's going to be key for him moving forward, especially for the power play. Just got to take that next step next year. And you know what? It's the first time in a long time I'm going to say this. I'm excited to see what the Flyers do next year.
Right.
Let's see what they do in the summer.
Yeah. So before we officially cap off this episode and the season in general, I know we'll probably do this in more detail later on. And we got a Flyer hater here saying Flyers suck. Jonathan Bender. Guess he's a Caps fan.
Your comment.
Anyway, but I'm going to say before we close out, why don't we throw out a quick favorite Flyers moment from the season before we send this one home. I'll throw mine out first. Mine was the retaliatory OT win we got on the Devils up at the Rock. It was only about a week ago. Flyers and the Devils had a really competitive game in the Well, and I think it was Hughes who scored that. Hughes scored the goal to give the Devils the win, and he did a bow, too, at the end. Well, then the Flyers did a right back at you up at the Rock and got the OT win back on them, and I forget who scored it. Was it Konechny? I think it was Konechny who scored it. And that was a nice little back at you to the Devils for getting the OT win on us in Philly. What about you guys?
Oh,
For me, it's going to be. Oh, go ahead. Yes, absolutely, Brad.
Couturier hitting the post with 3 seconds to go against the Rangers.
How come I am not surprised?
Sorry, guys. I can't help myself.
No problem. No problem. This team's penalty kill all season long, but most notably recently, TK's 6 shorthanded on the season. The team's 16 shorthanded goals on the season. It's something that they can really carry forward into the next season and hopefully develop that power play to match its strength, and then we got something cooking.
Right. Brian, how about you?
Oh, man. The one thing that I can't stress enough was the resiliency of this team all season long. Just being in just about every single game, not being able to really fall behind, and when they did fall behind, finding ways to get back in. My favorite moment was playing the Detroit Red Wings, and I'm sorry Jeff is still not in here to hear this, but when Detroit had that huge lead against the Flyers, I think it was like 5 or 6-1 at one point, came all the way back to tie it. Actually, I even think they took the lead at one point, and they wound up losing that game. But the fight in this team, they never counted themselves out in just about any single game unless it was, 5-1 Chicago or 9-3 against Montreal. But for the most part, just the resiliency of this team, that game was just it's telling you this team is coming together and it's going to be something special. And I'm really excited to see what's going to happen when this team finally goes off here. And, guys like Farabee and Forrester and all them guys, they really start peaking. I I'm very excited for this future. Like Morris said, get the power play figured out. This team's going to go places.
Get in that front presence there, my friend. That's what you guys need.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the key in the summer, whether it's Reinhardt or it's somebody else who stands in front of the net and gets garbage goals. That's what you guys need. It's too hard to score perfect goals all the time.
And I think Tort says it best here. It's not about win, it's about growth. He was spot on, and Morris is right.
Agreed.
And with that note, I think it's a good time for us to wind this sucker down here. We thank everybody for joining us for this edition of the Hockey. I caught myself. Flyers Talk, A2D. I got myself, though. I caught it.
Yeah, you did.
Almost pulled a me.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Flyers Talk A2D. We're not going anywhere, folks. Even though the Flyers season is officially over, we've got the playoffs right around the corner. And Brad's Rangers, they got the kiss of death, and they're going to take on the Caps. Don't know if it's going to come into effect against them, but who knows when it'll pop in. She's a tricky bitch, that President's Trophy. You never know when she'll strike.
I know.
But anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Capitals in 7, right?
If that happens, I'm sorry, Brad. I'm going to cry laughing. But
I hope that's pathetic.
We'll see you guys next week right here on Flyers Talk A2D with the playoffs rolling around. Until then, we were brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Call the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Until then, everyone, you stay safe, you stay healthy out there. Happy Stanley Cup playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week.
Be safe. Appreciate y'all.
Night, guys.